West. I know y'all like, damn, we have 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes we ain't got to give. It's NBA playoffs, and we trying to get to the content. Hit that like button on your way in. And if y'all ain't and follow us on Twitch at Active Chucks if you're on Twitch. You know what I'm saying? Selena, salute to the team in the chat.
Salute.
With the Chucks and the stars. Welcome to Zoolaland. Hashtag Damu Kiwe Conversations. Salute to Dukes and y'all, man. Salute to y'all, man.
Salute.
Salute to everybody that's on IG. I see y'all coming in there. Let me go ahead and put YouTube at Active Chuck. So if y'all on there, y'all might want to come up over here real quick. You know what I'm saying? In the chat where it's at. You know what I'm saying? In the chat's where it's at. Yeah.
Man, you already know what it is, man. Salute to Deuce M's for holding it down. But guess what? I'm around. Hey, we live on YouTube right now, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. You already know that's where it's at. And salute to the Blue Wrench mob. That's
salute. So that's that Yael featuring Joe Moses and Coyotes for Hire.
Salute.
So today, we're gonna talk about the voices of LA. You know what I'm saying? Traplore Ross, the voice of LA. Vlad TV, the voice of LA. Adam Grand Mason, the voice of LA. Shit, y'all might as well say Slim Shady, the voice of hip hop. What do all of these people have in common? Well, everybody I just named is a European, a mountaineer. You know what I'm saying? What you finna say, y'all?
I'm about to say, wee.
Hey,
I was gonna say that for sure.
Super Snipper. That's not how you spell sniper. But Super Snipper, man, Wack know his number is coming up. He said that any rapper that comes to LA has to check in with him. Isn't that what Big U got busted for, goofball? Man, that nigga couldn't even protect himself when he was walking with Kanye West. That just means he broke right now and he felt a little bit more safe. Hogs, pig, caucasoids. Y'all nasty work, man. Lena Love, salute everyone. So add to them DJ Wackademics, CS2 back. And there's a lot of other people that are not, even Poetic Flacco, that are not from our culture, that speak up on our culture. Their voice is way more louder than those of us that grew up in there. And you can look in our sector of content in that Brim Shifty, salute. Cash the Elroy Jones, rat ass pig, salute. But all of their voices had no jumper, 5 million subscribers. Poetic Flacco, he's not even a descendant of slaves, hundreds of thousands of followers. You could go to academics, millions of subscribers on multiple pages. These people aren't even from a Traplore Ross. This dude is from Britain. But we're going to get into the content. I don't want to keep holding everybody else. Hit that like button on y'all way in because we trying to get through this. I know everybody want to watch the playoffs. Maybe that's where everybody at. But it's cool. Because one thing for sure, great content always seems to stand the test of time. Let's get into this. Traplore Ross, how a podcast exposed the deadly truth about Big U. That podcast he's talking about is No Jumper. Let's get into it.
Real music or podcasts became a thing. Nowadays, besides drill rappers like King Von and Lil Durk, who use real-life crimes in their music as an important part of building their brands, there's a whole lineup of podcasts focused on hip-hop culture that blur the lines between entertainment and real gang politics. The likes of DJ Vlad interviewing the most infamous rappers, athletes, gangsters, mobsters, and mafiosos, and most importantly, the No Jumper podcast, which made stars of gang-affiliated larger-than-life personalities like Crip and 4 Extra. One of the most infamous hosts of No Jumper in recent years is Rollin 60s member Bricc Baby. His crazy stories from the streets of LA all the way to Atlanta, where he tapped in with some of the most famous rappers and trappers in America, made him one of LA's most beloved podcasters. Bricc Baby had a years-long come-up as a podcaster on No Jumper, while also juggling his rap career and dropping numerous songs and music videos, some of which I made cameos in, having become friendly with Bricc during appearances on the No Jumper podcast myself. But according to the criminal complaint, before Bricc Baby went all in on podcasting,
what if your smile could go from looking like this to this?
Nuvia's 24-hour process is real.
He was still connected to street activity. The criminal complaint would paint a picture of Bricc Baby still ripping and running in the streets of LA and paying percentages of robberies he was involved in directly to Big U. However, this wasn't the only suspicious street activity that would come back to haunt Bricc during his podcast arc. He was also connected to the ambush on rapper Quando Rondo in August of 2022. Quando, who had $1 million bounty on his head after Chicago drill rapper King Von was shot dead in a fight with Quando's entourage, would visit Los Angeles and be ambushed by masked shooters who had flown all the way from Chicago to kill Quando on behalf of Lil Durk, allegedly. But things went wrong, and they ended up killing his cousin Lil Pab, real name Savia Robinson, by mistake. But to make matters much worse and more complicated, Bricc Baby and Big U's names were brought up into the mix immediately. Quando's tragic situation was allegedly the culmination of a multi-year back and forth with Big U himself, as Quando Rondo also reps the Rollin 60s Crips, but is part of a set that branched off in his native city of Savannah, Georgia. This means that he's not a direct member of LA's Rollin 60s Crips, but there's a connection, and as a result, he seemed to have a relationship with Big U and always looked up to him. As mentioned, besides Big U allegedly using his charity as an extortion vehicle, he would more famously be a big proponent of the idea of checking in. Interestingly, Quando had numerous interactions with Big U in the lead up to this tragic incident that took his cousin's life. Big U has claimed on The Breakfast Club that Quando actually reached out to him for protection and suggested that despite claiming Rollin 60s, Quando had never showed him love until he began having problems with Lil Durk after King Von's death.
Like Quando Rondo, I just showed envy. Like, you can't call me now. You can't call me when the fire hot. You didn't f me before that. You know what I mean? You had my number. You could have called me. You could have did all that.
This elicited a response from Quando, who denied ever calling Big U for protection, instead saying that he was only asking how he could give back to his community.
Once called nobody, no on planet Earth for no protection. Because I don't fear no man. Why would I wait to get us? Anybody that I ever called, I call on some like, how can I help? How can I do this? How can I do that? I never called no person on planet Earth for protection.
Big U would address Quando and hint towards extortion, repeatedly saying that unless there's a donation for his organization, he's not interested.
Yeah, so I'm addressing this little thing with young nephew with Quando. First of all, I never talked to Quando. You know, it ain't nothing but love with Quando.
Ain't no days
definitely
off.
Reaching out to do something for the kids, definitely do that. Because I never talked to him. He just asked me if somebody reached out. I just feel like I know cuz and I've been knowing him. And I never heard from him after we had a conversation maybe a year and a half ago. Maybe 2 years ago. And then, so when he called me, I'm only on positive vibes. I'm going to pull up on cuz or he can pull up on me.
A month later, Big U would appear on No Jumper in an interview where he seemingly apologized to Quando and indicated that there had been a miscommunication.
These beefs just sort of spiral out of control, whereas it might have been more isolated.
I can't understand it because somebody got to be a man at some point and say they was wrong. Like as far as Quando Rondo, I was wrong for saying it, but he was wrong for not reaching to his homeboy. And then on the same line that I reached out to you, you reached back out to me on it. You know what I'm saying? But I apologize to my homeboy. You know what I'm saying?
It seemed that within a month of this back and forth, dues had been paid, and Quando would appear as the first guest on Big U's ominously titled Checcnin In podcast. Big U would start the podcast off by welcoming Quando to LA.
Checking in with my young fella Quando. Yeah, man. What's up, young fella? Is you in California, huh?
You did.
You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm glad to have you, man.
They would seemingly patch over their past feud by exchanging mutual apologies, with Big U elaborating that his nephew had vouched for Quando, who had told Big U that he did Quando wrong.
When I told him, as a man, my little homie called me, and he told me, Unc, you was wrong. But I'm going to say I was wrong too, because you said I was wrong. You know what I mean? And as a man, like I told them, I know when I'm going to apologize because I'm supposed to be a bigger person. You know what I mean?
Big U would also specify that he had never asked for any money from Quando for checking in, explaining that their dispute was purely over a misunderstanding.
Every city I go to, I check in with somebody, bro. And that's what it's about. Because people think that I'm a bully and I cancel money, I get money. I ain't never asked you for not one dime. Not one dime.
Big U would also explain the process of checking in with the Rollin 60s, explaining exactly what a rapper coming to LA should expect.
Because you might check in with me. I'm going to tell you what clubs to go to and what clubs not to go to. I'm going to tell you where the bad is, and I'm going to tell you where the is. I'm going to tell you who got the good, how to get the sack. You got dudes come out all the time, buy sack, and getting robbed. They ain't dealing with the right people.
What now seems rather ironic, Quando would immediately join in on praising the process of checking in, saying how people have...
See? Now, this is where the gang politics come in, and this is what the laws don't understand and the people who on the jury won't understand. Say you got a brim from Jersey or New York, Fruittown brim member, right? Florida or Atlanta, wherever, right? You got Bloods and Brims and Crips in about 41 different states, right? Other countries and everything. But say they coming out there and they like, oh, I bumped into some dude. He say he got the kush. He got a better price than y'all. I'm going to go ahead and get 10 pounds. And then he gets stuffed, right? Nigga stick him up. You know what I'm saying? Book the nigga for the money he was going to pay for the 10 pounds and shoot him. So he got a little information on the dudes, where they was from. Now he come holler, hey, Duke Sims. Hey, what's up, homie? Man, I got shot. Where at? In L.A. Nigga, why you didn't tell me you was out here? Oh, man, I was doing what you was doing out here? Oh, man, I was on a play with the homie, with a dude I met last time I was out there and on some weed, and the nigga stuck me up, you know what I'm saying, and booked me for 30 cents. You know what I'm saying? Niggas gonna be like, oh, what's, man, them niggas is over there. Nah, nigga, don't call me for the smoke, but miss me and don't call me for the money plays. What was you doing out there? So now you don't call me for the money plays, but you want to call me for the smoke, for the gangster shit. Nah, it don't work like that, my nigga. I don't know if you think you got some do boys or some crash boy. Hey, handle your business, my nigga. Well, I don't really know where they be at. I'm inexperienced. I'm trying to slide on them niggas. You can tell the homies to come with me. Did you take the homies with you to go get that, go bank that play? Nah, you didn't want to spend no money with the homies? Nah. Oh, nigga, you got us fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So now a Damu comes in town and he hollers at, hey, what's up, homie? Hey, man, I'm finna be in town. What you want, man? Me and the wifey, we just vacationing, this and that. Hey, look, bro, I wanted to take her to the hood. Like right now ain't the time, my nigga. They just raided the spot. You got the Big U indictment going on. They following everybody. I know you what you got going on. You don't want to be in the mix with none of that shit. Miss the hood, nigga. Take your bra, go to the mall, go shopping, go to the Beverly Center, get some of that lobster pizza. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, go to the beach. Enjoy yourself, brother. Stay up off the set. Stay away from the hood right now. It's hot. If I go to Atlanta, you best believe I'm going to tap in with the homies out there. North Carolina, South Carolina, New York, New Jersey. And they're going to roll out the red flag carpet for brimming in. Believe that. You know what I'm saying? Fuck the podcast shit. Fuck the rap shit. That my name rang like that before all of that. So now that's what they don't understand. Last night, the lady that was on lawn whatever it was called was talking about talking to the man about it, and he was like, listen, the police don't come until after the crime is done. They come to pick up the shells and the bodies. These Big U gotta say, nigga, we was trying to intervene before somebody became the victim, right? Intervention. That's part of developing options. Intervention. Bro, weed is legal in California. Anyone could walk into any Cali dispensary, can negotiate a deal for 10 blocks, man. That's what you think? You know how many of those dispensaries is illegal? Nigga, you know niggas is just trapping up out them dispensaries and they illegal, nigga. The one on Normandy has been in like 90-something. Nigga, my little cousin was working at that motherfucker. Nigga, they raided that motherfucker in 2 months 6 times. Nigga, they got arrested, had to pay fines after fines after fines. But don't mean they won't stick you up. They'll sell them to you, nigga. Well, I ain't gonna give up the game, but nigga, and still book your ass. You live there, you know what's up. Well, you must have been lucky, because one thing for sure, two things for certain, the wolves is out there. I was born and raised in that motherfucker, and I was one of the wolves, nigga. So good luck with that. You know what I'm saying? But let's get back to the content. I know I lived out there.
Completely misunderstood what it means.
Hopefully this interview opened everybody's eyes on the check-in part. Like that's not on nothing negative.
I put the Skull Shaver, the Remington, and the Freebird in a head-to-head challenge to see which one was the best head shaver. The results might surprise you. Let's go.
However, a year later, Quando Rondo would visit LA again, where according to the OTF indictment, Chicago rapper Lil Durk and his team got word from an unnamed source in LA, known in the indictment as co-conspirator number 4, that Quando was indeed staying in the city. They would get his location and follow him around, eventually ambushing him at a gas station where his cousin Lil Pab was killed. Now, interestingly, speculation circulated that the Rollin 60s were the ones who tipped off the Chicago hit squad to Quando's location, with a particular accusation that Bricc Baby was the one responsible, due to him apparently being the Rollin 60s member with the closest ties to Lil Durk. Bricc would also openly claim to not like Quando in an August 2021 No Jumper interview, calling him out for claiming Rolling 60s and trying to get Big U and the LA Crips to try and squash his beef with Lil Durk and the Black Disciples, saying that he needs to check in every time he comes to LA.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. And then you claiming it, you ain't providing for this. Come on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Quando Rondo.
You're not fucking him.
Boy, stop.
What is it?
Boy,
Explain.
stop it. Don't come to the 60s and want to provide now that broke them on your ass. You get what I'm saying? Like we ain't doing that.
Yeah.
At all. We not doing none of that.
Well, that's gotta be weird for you because you've Durk so much.
It ain't weird for me.
Yeah.
It ain't weird for me at all.
Salute.
You know what I'm saying? You're not from Rolling 60s.
Oh, really?
You're not from LA Rolling 60s. You're not from Rolling 60s.
Right.
On the hood, we didn't make that call. But you didn't put that on the board like you finna make this play. On the hood, we didn't make that call.
But didn't Big U and him kind of squash shit at a certain point? I feel
You
like
gotta come talk to the streets.
Big U's a little removed from a lot of it.
Nah, he is the streets. You
Right.
gotta come talk to the people who feet in the streets. You gotta come clear yourself on both angles.
Bricc would be seen in the studio with Lil Durk in the months before the shooting, and days after the murder of Lil Pab, Bricc Baby would post on social media telling Quando he's a fake Crip for not checking in with him and giving them money and guns.
From out of town. And you banging the hood from California. You're an imitation gangbanger if you do not check in. If you do not make sure your hood is don't deal with the same enemies we deal with in LA.
However, Bricc Baby would then bizarrely go on to do a series of interviews speaking on the situation directly. He would tell Cam Capone News that Quando was smart to try and squash the beef with Big U.
But it was a great move for him, like to go check in with the big dog, because that's our big dog. So you trying to get him to soften up the people that's around your age and, you know what I'm saying, still outside. He's still outside too, but You get what I'm saying? To soften it up for us.
Around a month after the shooting, Bricc Baby would be seen on social media flexing bundles of cash and releasing a new song with OTF artist C3, a track called Bricklato, a track which heard C3 rapping that people claiming 60s will see the real 60s getting at them and that someone is dropping their location so the ops can pull up. This was followed with songs like the April 2023 banger Not Enough, where Bricc raps how his gang received over $1 million for their last body, million of course being the exact number that Lil Durk had allegedly put on Quando's head. However, for the record, no real proof has ever surfaced definitively showing that Bricc had any part in what happened to Quando, and I was quite convinced that Bricc was simply making the most of this unsubstantiated rumor just to promote his rap career. But as time went on, more hints would be dropped about the 60s being involved in the incident. Particularly telling was Quando denouncing his Rollin 60s neighborhood Crip membership in an online post where Quando says that he's no longer part of the gang and that he's laying his blue bandana down, specifically mentioning how it makes no sense for him to be part of the Rollin 60 neighborhood Crips since they mess with his opposition, essentially inferring that someone from the LA Rollin 60s had set him up to get shot out in LA on behalf of Lil Durk, with Quando saying that it doesn't take rocket science to see what's going on, and ending the message by saying that he's now just going to focus on his family and loved ones. Big U's nephew, Tiny Draws, reacted to Quando's post, pointing out that this essentially happened to Quando because he failed to show respect to the Rollin 60s in LA, pointing out that Quando refused to check in, so they didn't check out and look out for him, as well as saying that there's only one way out of the gang, seemingly alluding to Quando getting killed, and saying that if he had shown the 60s love like he shows love to people like NBA Youngboy.
Let's go ahead and debunk that first, right? Saying there's only one way to get out the gang, and that's to get killed. That's bullshit, nigga. You ever heard of a put off, my nigga? See, this is exactly why Traplore Ross, Adam 16, Vlad, and all of these niggas that's on the outside looking in cannot be the voice for our culture. And our whole thing, let me see, Street TV, great journalist, researcher, Kev Mac videos, right? Baby Gangster, OG ENT, Melly Mel, the Hood Postman. These are some elders, these are some people, but let's just start with Street TV. 600,000 subscribers. But here you got No Jumper with 5 million subscribers. Vlad with 5 million subscribers. Kind of like the system is set up where they always have a slave master in a winning position and a louder voice for the message or the narratives that they want to spin. This man said, we all know there's only one way to get out the game, and that's death. Niggas done got ran off, put up off the set, stomped out, kicked up out the hood, all kind of shit. But this the narrative that fits his narrative. That's what fits his narrative. So that's very indicative of what he owns. Pay attention. Hey, Traplore Ross, ain't you up in Britain? Ain't that where 600 be flying out all the time? Talking about he got boxing matches and training and shit? Oh, okay. Let me go ahead and get back to it.
Then maybe things might have been different, claiming that Quando was disloyal and that the streets don't play fair. After the LA assassination attempt on Quando that claimed his cousin's life, Big U appeared on social media, seemingly taking a dig at Quando by saying that if he took a loss, he wouldn't leave his gang behind, and there would be no crying from him.
Imagine all the dudes, and when the storm came, they folded their tent, they went inside, or they shut down. No, they ain't what no real dude. When it get hard for me, I get quiet and I get still because I need to hear all the doors is open. I said I welcome the challenge. When it get hard, I welcome it. I look for it.
Later on, Big U appeared in a video seemingly celebrating a deal with FX relating to that 2021 show Hip Hop Uncovered, telling the audience that he's celebrating while smoking a cigar to the camera.
It's really just a celebration. I don't drink. I got this as a gift from a production company for the success we had with Hip Hop Uncovered. Just thought I'd kick it with y'all and chop it up.
I don't smoke, but I do get to celebrate. Good things do happen to good people.
Big U would continue to smoke, telling viewers that he's been finishing projects for years and having a celebratory smoke for a reason that he can't tell people about, as well as congratulating young men who have completed projects with him, leading to speculation that he was speaking with a double meaning.
I heard somebody said the problem with Big U is
these pants are the best purchase I've made in 2024, specially designed for middle-aged men. They bring
he don't complete nothing. I've been completing these projects for years.
But we go support these channels.
It's all smoke. But this here, I'm just going to throw this up on the story. It's just a little celebration and only we know what it's about. Congratulations to the successful things I have done with these young men.
Right.
And young women alike too. It's just a celebration. Y'all will probably ask what, but I ain't gonna say it.
But it was Bricc Baby that would have people really concerned when he would outright say in a No Jumper interview with Poetic Flacco that people can no longer tell Lil Durk that he has to slide for Von because of the murder of Quando's cousin, Lil Pab.
He did something. Oh, slide for him. Oh, you a oh, yeah.
Slide for Von, right? Yeah.
They say you can't say that no more.
Why? Oh, yeah.
See, here go another one, Poetic Flacco. When we had that conversation, I was talking about you incriminating Munchie B. Here you is again asking about they can't say who can't say what no more. He said they. And asking about shit pertaining to, and Bricc, you totally out of pocket for answering. You know what I'm saying? This nigga is a non-affiliate. He ain't even from our culture.
He not even a tuner.
He not even a tuner.
Damn.
Yeah, look, Johnny G said Flacco baited him right there, but he bit. He's supposed to be like, stay in your place, little nigga. Stay in your place, fat boy. Traplore Ross makes 6-hour videos trying to say this guy did this and did that, trying to solve murders in America, trying to push a police narrative, trying to convict people online. No, that's a fact. That's the reason why we're here today running this video. Yep, kid. Spirit Wonder, True Life. Motherfuckers don't need to know our business and when people lived it. Nah, you right. You should know it unless you lived it. G-Mac 2-in-1. Salute. G-Mac is in the house. Damu Kiwe Conversation for show. Poetic Flacco is an African agent tether. Bricc was dry snitching to the world. Yeah, Bricc got diarrhea of the jaw. Yeah, man. He definitely got diarrhea of the jaw. He talking about you got to supply the hood with burner. Nigga, you supposed to press that line up front with no phone, nothing on the internet. And you pushing this on the internet like it's cool. I wonder, that's kind of strange. I don't know nobody trying to go to jail. Let's go.
Because of no. Like, who died?
You can't say that no more.
Oh, because of FBG Cash? Or who?
Nah, because Lil Pab.
Oh.
Bricc would go on to say that Quando has to lay in the bed that he made by not showing love to the Rollin 60s in LA.
You should have been doing the right thing from off the rip. That's what they say. The bed, you gonna lay in the bed that you make.
He would also note that Quando was done for beefing with Durk, who has $20 to $30 million to his name.
And just signed the deal for like 20-30 million, Durk, right?
Yes.
Who the f want to beef with Cub for you? Too much money, man. You get what I'm saying? Like, listen, man.
Don't beef with rich people.
Don't beef with rich people, man. Unless you're gonna slide, and you don't need to say nothing out loud. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, point blank, period. Don't put that bag of thing on your head.
These bold comments caused a shock on Twitter from other apparent Rollin 60s members, and Bricc Baby would later deny that his comments were self-snitching, reaffirming that he had nothing to do with the shooting and was just parroting what was already being said on the internet.
Like I said, I already knew. I was out of town when it happened. The police.
Hey, we got a super chat, y'all. Iceman Vamp
with the $5 super chat. If Flacco could bait you, imagine what the feds can do. Shaking my head. Hey, Iceman Vamp with the $5 super chat. That's a cold statement right there. But we appreciate anything and everything that is given to the Damu Kiwe Conversation team. Salute to you, your family, and your tribe. Man, that's a cold statement, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
Hey, man, it definitely is. Let's go.
First of all, Traplore Ross and all these other detectives, and I'm not shout out Traplore Ross though, because he ain't doing nothing but just making this content. You know what I'm saying? If you were that in public to get caught doing a murder to where he can put it together without being a police, kind of. I put in this song with me and C3 that was going to get released a month before it happened, and it say some like it was some viral, like the video went kind of crazy. I think he said something, we had a real 60s get at you or something like that, but we recorded this damn near 6-7 months before this anyway. So, but it was somebody OTF, and then Durk was in the video. I was flashing money and all that. Name one person that's gonna give, where's the million at?
The rumor was,
don't let an appliance breakdown break you down. Shop Brothers Main's super in-stock selection from Bricc
was that there was $1 million on Quando Rondo's head, and that as a result, that there's a lyric that Bricc has on another song where he says,
"We charge a quarter for a pack of 100's not enough," and I said the last start the pack,
we got $1 million plus.
Yeah, because on the internet they were saying that I took 100,000 from Durk and I signed the OTF and I had to do a hit for it. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, man, we charge a quarter for a pack. Like, you can't pay me 100,000 to kill nobody. Like, I'm charging $1 million plus. You know how much it costs for me to get out of jail after a murder? I'm really popping it.
Ultimately, despite the bombshell indictment of Lil Durk and a handful of other alleged co-conspirators for murder for hire in October 2024, it still appears that Bricc was not officially involved, and he's not been formally charged in relation to this incident. But this was a major incidence of street activity surfacing on a podcast for all to see, and the eventual criminal complaint against Big U would indeed reference what happened to Quando directly, with a wiretapped conversation observing Big U saying what happened to Quando was a direct result of not checking in. So all of this was going on behind the scenes, but at the same time, the likes of Bricc Baby and Loose Cannon were jumping in podcast studios, letting small details slip. However, if there was one person who was truly a danger to Big U with a microphone in front of him, it would be Wack 100. Another infamous gang-related figure in LA politics, Big U always had a strange relationship with Wack 100, who was arguably the red.
They saying, nigga, this was who he with the nigga with a microphone that Big U should have been watching the whole time.
Bandana rocking Pyru counterpart to Big U's blue rag rocking Crip persona. Both OG status LA street legends with a formidable reputation in the streets and the industry, Wack 100 and Big U have had some disagreements in the past, like in 2019 when a leaked audio would have Wack implying that Eric Holder did what he was supposed to do as a gangster.
It's a harsh reality, but we stepping out of civilization into the jungle of gangbanging. Because the lead gun, man, right? When it comes to the rules of engagement of gangbanging, he did what he was supposed to do when another gangbanger calls you or a snitch. You're supposed to handle your business. And can't nobody say that's wrong.
Given what Nipsey was reportedly accusing him of, this would cause some controversy in the media, as many would see Wack to be defending Holder's actions and excusing Nipsey's murder. Big U would then seemingly have a conversation with Wack 100 behind the scenes, after which Wack would post what appeared to be an apology on his social media. Not long after, Wack and his artist Blueface would appear on the No Jumper podcast, where Wack would provide more context to his earlier comments.
He puts it out there like I said some horrible, crazy, right?
Right.
But he's playing the subscriber follow game. You notice he's been saying, come subscribe, and I'm going to let it out. It's been like 2-3 weeks of subscribe, and he's going to let it out. So what I did was call Reggie Rice platform, and just everything I said to Reggie.
Right.
So now what you going to put out? Listen, I'm not a gang banger anymore. I haven't gang banged in like over 20 years.
You ain't never
meaning I haven't woke up and hated the Crip or seen a dude in blue and wanted to do something to him because I thought he was a Crip.
Really?
Right? That's gang banging, right? So I'm from where I'm from. That's going to always be that, right? So I understand gang culture. Gang culture is different from the religious culture, which is different from, the Jewish culture. Every culture is different. And in that jungle, the rules change. Now, are the rules irrational? Damn right. Are they right? Probably not. But these are the rules of this jungle. And it's been like that 50, 60 years, right? In this situation, you have a rapper and you have a dude that's a straight authentic gang member. His whole life are these blocks. It's all he know. And in the culture of gang banging, when you call a motherfucker a snitch, when you call somebody these things in this jungle, it's no different than you being a football player and going on the field without your helmet on. You're gonna get hit.
However, also giving Big U props for starting Nipsey's career. He would also say that the love that Nipsey was getting after his death was fake, and that Nipsey wasn't getting praise like that or being called a legend while he was still alive, and that he objectively was not a legend during his life based on the numbers.
Right.
If it wasn't for Big U, y'all wouldn't know the Nipsey Hussle of today. So what I'm saying is you got a man who died with 1 million followers and no radio hit and no platinum plaques. But because everybody started talking like it was a goddamn Popeye's chicken sandwich, everybody jumped on the bandwagon.
Right.
And now he done went 10, 20 times platinum. The radio is spinning his song. Come on, bro. How long did they spin his song?
Right.
All day, every hour. Nipsey had like 2, 3 songs I felt should have went. Last time I checked, like it was great records. Right. Bullets ain't got no name. Great records.
Yeah.
Why in the and this rumor about him being independent, that's some bullshit. Like, look, it's idiots. If you scroll down to the iTunes, it says Atlantic Records. Right.
I'm gonna sit here.
So now he has a machine behind him. So where was all these fans like Blueface? He got platinum plaques. Hold on, no. You know why he got platinum plaques? Because his fans followed him. They supported him. They streamed, they download, things of that nature. Nipsey's never been on a world tour. Why? He did not die an A-list artist. That's real. Y'all talking about he was a legend. If he was a legend, why y'all didn't treat him like that while he was here?
Adam would also ask Wack about his phone call with Big U, with Wack responding by lashing out against people who were attacking Big U after Nipsey's death with the conspiracies about him being involved, before giving Big U more praise about his role in Nipsey's career.
What was the phone call with Big U like after those headlines started popping up about that leaked audio?
Oh, we always talk about our white kids, what business ventures we doing next, and things of that nature. Like, you know, we don't have that type of conversation about, they even attacked him. That was a weird, they last thing was Big U was honoring him at one of his events. So people make it look like Big U and Nipsey was enemies, all conspiracies and all this crazy.
Right.
And the world wouldn't know who Nipsey Hussle was in the magnitude that he was in if it wasn't for Big U.
Right.
During 2020, Wack and Big U would do several major podcasts together, and the two were seemingly on cordial terms. Unfortunately, the following year, there was seemingly starting to be some more serious disagreements, with Big U implying on his Checcnin In podcast how he was disagreeing with a lot of things that Wack had been doing lately.
Yeah, I just like to call this guy from Wack. You know what I mean? I disagree with a lot of things he's doing right now. When you get to the point where I can't reach out and talk to you and try to correct you, like, look, we're trying to go on this path, I got to remove myself. I don't mind being chastised. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm bigger than the program. And so what people don't understand is that sometimes people can get to that point.
Meanwhile, Loose Cannon, who was still at this point cool with Big U, would release a diss song to Wack in September 2021 titled Cookout, aka Wack, I Know You're...
down real quick, right? So this clown is, from first and foremost, not even of our ethnicity. You're not a descendant of the lost tribes, the children of Israel, brother. You have little to no melanin. You have you are not made of carbon. You know what I'm saying? You a Wyopi, a mountaineer, my nigga. From the Caucasus Mountains, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Shortstop in the Field podcast said, hey, dudes, why the Nipsey conspiracy theorists didn't crucify Blueface for laughing at CS2 disrespecting Nip? Because they really just, first and foremost, they wasn't even supporting Nipsey like that through the Bullets Ain't Got No Name, volume 1 through 3. The marathon continues, victory lap, Crenshaw. They missed all of that. Them numbers was not showing up how they should have been. Nipsey was just a smart businessman. But they like to point out the villain. Every movie to these people that's sitting in the back just watching and observing has to have a villain. And they made a decision that Big U was the villain. So even though you got CS2 back on here disrespecting Nipsey, Blueface laughing at him, none of the Nipsey conspiracy theorists had a problem with that. In fact, they allowed niggas like Marathon Kev, Rico the Rat Rose, the Crip cop who hit Nipsey father that day, took the bat from him or the stick or whatever he had. They allow and support these weirdos. Asshole backwards. But back to the Mountaineer. So the Mountaineer is talking about at this time, Loose Coochie Cannon was working for Big U at the time the cookout came out. I'm gonna play this and I'm gonna go grab the audio so I could play and show y'all. Wack 100 said that he told Loose Coochie Cannon to make this song, and he was already working with him and he wanted to come out, but he told him to play up under him so he could get the intel and then later do what he did, implicate him in multiple crimes so that they could get what up with it, Michael Bell grind hard, bro. So that they can implicate him and get him up out the way. If y'all hadn't paid attention, let me go grab that for y'all. But here it go, Loose Coochie Ashes.
Saying talking, as well as dissing Wack and calling him a rat on his YouTube channel, whilst walking around Wack's old stomping grounds in Pacoima and saying that Big U runs the West.
So it's like, Wack, it's like you do all this internet thugging and acting like you just so turned up, putting it on Paru this, Paru that. Nobody's seen you do nothing. You beat up a kid that was don't fit in Miami. What's that name? Stitches. Like, bro, you did some bus rash, and then you acting like you got clout. Then you paid $2 to act like they KKK, but it was construction workers, and you paid them $150. All that clout chasing don't equal up to real, bro. We on real time. Like, you talking about let's get down. You don't want to get down with the low, nigga. And you could put that on Paru. I bet you on any dollar, nigga. You don't want to get down with the low. You know you staring death in his eyes. That's why you want to run with some cowards. Oh, let me call Big U. Let me do this. He don't with you. He's a. He don't with rats. He don't with rat lovers. He don't doing police.
As Luce would explain in a podcast at the time, his beef with Wack started from the producer Marley Marl allegedly scamming $50K from Luce that was meant to go towards getting a feature from the rapper Offset. This led to Luce allegedly beating Mally up and filming the confrontation. This would lead to Wack, who's Mally's friend, to have a problem with Luce, which would then escalate into a full-blown beef.
Yeah, so when I did that, Wack 100 was going around talking about, yeah, we don't with Luce Cannon, he did this, the Marley Marl, cuz can't go back to his hood and stuff like that. I'm like, you.
Damu Kiwe Conversations.
You in Palmdale, Lancaster ass, like, come on, cuz, like, I'm in the hood every day. Like, bro, what you talking about?
In June 2022, Wack would appear on the Dub C and CJ Mack Show podcast, where CJ Mack would question Wack about all the enemies that he'd been making, with Wack responding that there's only one person who he wishes things could have been different with, and that's Big U.
It's probably only one person out of everything you've been seeing going on that I wish it could have been different.
Right. Right. It's all good.
Right?
It's all good. Yeah.
And that's Big U.
Despite there clearly being some heavy tension between the two, Wack would show him a lot of love during the podcast, saying that he just can't see Big U as an enemy due to their past friendship.
Because I can't mentally see him as my enemy.
Right.
I don't think really in his heart, he ain't gonna let nothing happen to me. It's too deep. That's like, I couldn't face his wife or his children.
Yeah.
Right? Knowing I was played a part in anything that had anything. That's just not happening.
But Big U would respond back, saying that he's accepting no apologies from people calling him out.
I don't really address a lot of said on the internet, but I'm going to tell y'all this, I'm going to address this, and I'm going to address this fast and quick. I heard about the little CJ Mack and Dub C interview with that guy.
I don't accept no apology from no disrespect my name, disrespect my family, and call me on my name. I ain't cool with nothing. I ain't cool with that CJ Max. I ain't cool with that Dub C. I ain't cool with none of that, man. And that's all I got to say on that.
Unfortunately for Wack, it seemed that behind the scenes things would reach a boiling point. On the 8th of July 2022, Wack's longtime artist The Game was performing at LA venue The Novo for the release of his Drillmatic album. At one point during the show, the crowd would go into a frenzy when Kanye walked out onto the stage, as Wack 100 could be seen to the side, ushering him onto the floor. Moments before, it seemed like a scuffle was taking place to the side of the stage where Wack and Kanye just emerged from, with some claiming that this was actually Wack being attacked by a group of Rollin 60s, including Big U's nephew Tiny Draws. Once Kanye took to the stage, Wack would find refuge on that stage, standing in front of the crowd, where it wouldn't really be possible to continue the attack. Standing here, Wack would shake his head and whisper to another man on stage and gesture a finger to his head, seemingly indicating that there was some brain-dead activity going on. Wack, visibly sweating, seemed to gesture to someone next to him that he would be moving through the front of the stage when the performance ended. Wack would continue politicking to the person next to him and pointing around as if looking for the most effective exit route. He would scratch his chin and continue to look behind him where the issue seemed to have started. As Ye looked ready to leave the stage, Wack turned to clear his path, but in what seemed like an excruciating moment, the Game would then begin to give a heartfelt speech to Ye, stopping him in his tracks. Game would then perform his classic song Dreams that was produced by Kanye, while Wack would whisper something to Ye himself. All the while, Wack would continue to look at what was going on behind him. A drummer then seemed to give him advice on the best way to get out of there, while Wack continued to look over his shoulder. Then, Lil Wayne would take the stage as Wack remained to the side, seemingly leaning back to say something to somebody. Wack remained at the side, tucked away with Ye during Wayne's performance, looking back a lot, and eventually getting into a conversation with somebody up close. At one point, even Ye would start looking concerned, and it seemed to be at this point when they agreed to leave through the front of the stage, right through the crowd. At which point, Wack took Ye by the arm and led him behind the speaker, tucked away so nobody could see where they were going. Ready to step into the crowd, notably flanked by two members of his entourage, Wack would jump off the pretty high stage to get into the crowd floor and exit through this crowded area. Interestingly, someone wearing a blue cap would moments later step by and peer around the speaker to see if Wack was there, but they were already gone. And seemingly after Wack had cleared the stage, during Big U's Artist Corrupt's performance, Tiny Draws and other Rollin 60s would get onto the stage themselves, performing a victory Crip walk. It seemed that Wack wasn't able to completely shake loose, however, as he would apparently be caught up within the parking lot by a group of Rollin 60s members that included Big U himself and Tiny Draws. A confrontation would ensue, which one 60s member would seemingly film as Wack stepped out of his car with his family inside. This was posted by somebody who was there online with an incredibly self-incriminating caption saying Wack 100 is a mark, begging to lift that thing up, talking about my wife and kids are here, better act like it, Buster. Someone would also post a clip showing Wack standing at the door of his car with a caption saying, "The 60s is outside, dead homies." The 2025 criminal complaint would reveal that a day after the incident, Big U had actually recounted the incident in a tapped conversation, claiming to have been there personally, and claiming...
Hey, real quick, Payanco Bolo, we've been pushing the FBA banner, bro. We've been telling y'all Black American culture. Man, I'm not no Black American. I'm not American and I'm not Black. Black is cipher. I'm a melanated, carbonated, celestial being. You know what I'm saying? Cream of the crop of the planet Earth, the first Homo sapiens sapiens, right? I'm descendant of the Most High, children of Israel. That's who we is. I don't know nothing about no Black American or African or our people populated each continent that exists today, the original people. So yeah, I don't just limit myself to one thing. The earth is my turf. You know what I'm saying? I think
speak on it, brother. Come on now.
I think I had to do it.
Claiming to have cornered Wack with 15 to 20 Rollin 60 members, whilst Wack was on his own, leading to a standoff where Wack pulled a gun and pleaded with him not to attack. The Rollin 60s members would then take to social media afterwards to brag about Big U's nephew Tiny Draws back off the stage at the Novo and knocking him out.
Wack 100 got we not put on him. And talk this shit out, this his town.
I'm saying, you talk about every set.
Hold on.
Every guy.
Hold on, y'all hear they verse.
Talk about every guy, every set. Got there, got shocked out, ran to the front, and jumped off.
Stop dreaming, start booking. Your next trip is just a deal away on Priceline. Priceline.
Where my pickle people at?
Popeyes has gone full pickle. You got your pickle glazed sandwich. You
same stage, slid out that mother. I officially a buster.
What's your version of it?
My version is, man, Tiny Draws put them bombs on that.
Hold on, we ain't doing no names now. We ain't doing no names.
He put them bombs, he got his mother head knuckled up.
Hey.
Y'all hear that?
Hey, listen, he gonna remember the Novo. He don't remember nothing else in his life.
Hear that? He gonna remember what?
That's all he gonna remember the Novo.
And remember who?
He gonna remember. Oh, he gonna remember not to be saying names that he know he ain't supposed to.
Sick. So you don't talk about us.
A day later, Wack responded saying that he wasn't beaten up and showing his face and head had no injuries, as well as hinting that the video didn't show everything that was going on in the scene, calling the situation a swing and a square off.
Knock it off, bro. Knock it off. Knock it off. Weird, bro. I don't mind you telling the truth, but stop lying. Cut the lies out. 20 niggas, that ain't nothing. Knock it off. Stop lying.
For the record, Wack later gave his own version of the incident, where he suggested that in fact he had his own people, the same ones who left the stage with him, waiting in the sidelines, and going on to say that he'd been holding a gun so powerful that it made Big U and the 6-0s stop dead in their tracks and leave.
You might not want to admit this, you had your blower.
Okay.
You're begging him not to kill him.
Now stop right there.
Right?
If I got my blower and you 20 deep with hoodies and I'm by myself, right? No begging to plead, that's when you really do it, right? What do you think my mentality was? For a dude not to approach me and you come to get me, and I jump out my car talking, what kind of conversation you think I'm having to make a dude say don't nobody move?
I agree with you.
Now,
I feel like Blick talk. I feel
third
like
y'all out there.
You probably
Call
was on
third
that
now.
Soulja Boy.
I'm about to expose something nobody ever knew. Oh, here it goes, right?
Ground zero.
I'm here. All of this is a parking lot, right? I'm here. They walk down. They walk right past my car. They didn't even see me. When I seen them get here, I jumped out. Y'all looking for me? Right? They stopped. They back was to me. Y'all, I had everything I had. I could have dealt with everything in front of me. Now, what they didn't know is I'm talking to my team.
Wait a minute. Before this nigga continue talking like he Hannibal, nigga, invading the Iberian Peninsula on elephants, nigga. This nigga be putting the 10 on the 2. This nigga was shaking like a snitch at a gangster party, nigga. That nigga just ran up off of there, and that was the same day. For that, whoever was that asked was at the same day. But I told y'all I wanted y'all to hear that. I wanted y'all to hear Loose Coochie been working with CS2 back since he dropped the Cookout, the diss on the Wack 100. So while you got Traplore Ross speaking up on shit he don't even know, he ain't even did his research. He could have easily went and got this audio. In fact, you don't gotta believe me. You can listen to CS2 back, federal confidential source. Since you over in England doing police investigations about some shit in LA or California and LA, this is the nigga y'all support. Weird ass niggas. Let's go.
You didn't hear what he said? Yeah, Nipsey got a baby by my cousin. You know why he know the footage exists? You know why Loose Cannon know that the footage I speak of is real?
That's the baby mama.
That's his fucking cousin.
Oh shit, bro. I'm done. I'm gone. All right, y'all.
You didn't catch when I said you stupid. Loose been with me the whole time, you dumb, stupid ass. Them niggas over there shaking like Knots right now. God.
Loose has been with him the whole time. He made a diss song about Wack. He made a diss song. That was the play to do that.
He made a diss song about like he been with us the whole time. That was a play. Wack told him to do it. He been wanting to come out. Wack employs and surrounds himself with rats. You want to go back? Stutterbox, Tekashi 6ix9ine, Snow Billy, Big Snow from Minnesota, and we could go on and on and on. Quick to Tell Dale, Marley Marl, Loose Coochie Cannon, the Crip Cop, Rico the Rat Rose, and he surrounds himself with these rats at SKG, and he sends them out as torpedoes towards his target to gather intel so they could get enough information to implicate people in crimes. He utilizes these rats to put his oppositions in jail. And we can prove that. But let's get back to the Traplore Ross. I just want to show some more about how this nigga don't know what the fuck he be talking about. But that's who y'all would rather support. Hit that like button. That's the least y'all can do. Let's go. Hashtag ETE. Hashtag ETD.
Here out the car. Third, who was here, and here?
Taking notes?
Hold on. Third, who in that parking lot when I'm confronting these 20 Crips was 20 to 30 feet in every direction and they didn't know it? All my homies was behind them.
That's new information.
Listen.
That's new information, man.
So listen, check this out. So what I'm letting you know, there's no need to beg nothing. What did I tell that fool? My home, they still don't know to this day that all my homies was positioned 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock. They didn't even see him.
Despite Wack sharing his more explosive side of the story 3 years later, at the time, people were heavily clowning Wack as blogs would report that he was knocked down. Tiny Draws would later claim responsibility for the attack and claim that Wack was punched 3 times backstage and then ran onto the stage to avoid the 60s, as well as saying that they were aware that Wack had people with him in the parking lot and that none of them jumped out and did anything.
I'm talking about two total incidents. He ain't talking about the right. Whatever happened in that garage, I don't know. Bro, that time when he went in the garage, it's like about 10 minutes prior to Cuz jumping on stage. That's the crazy part.
That guy said he was taking Kanye to the core, but ran to the core as damn self.
Man, no, that wasn't. That just walked from taking Kanye to the stage, and he was walking on stage, and he was walking up the stairs. Corrupt was going downstairs to go perform. We so happened to run across Cuz as he walking up.
No, this
it's like how the stairs curve.
Yeah.
As soon as he walked up, the nigga got dope fiend and then got hit again. And one of the little security that was with him pump fake like he had a blower and took off running. They ran all the way back to the stage, chased down the hallway. They ran through their little security. Security was trying to stop us from getting on stage. He bow-guarded them. Them was already hopping down on stage, going to their little exit, whatever their little plan was. Wherever they got out from down there on the bottom of that little stage area is exactly what I ran to. Cuz when it got to his car. The show wasn't even over. DJ Quick didn't even perform yet. Gang didn't even perform yet. He left like an hour or two before the even over, and we stayed.
Yeah.
When he got to that parking garage, I can't tell you what happened. I wasn't there. But inside that, all that bullshit talking, it was 10 against 1, then 18 against 1, then 20 against 1. What incident is you talking about?
This would then lead to Tiny Draws jumping on Clubhouse with Wack to Wack and suggesting that Wack was lying since he wouldn't swear on his gang that the incident happened the way he said it
Y'all
did.
see Traplore Ross?
Who is you though, bro?
This is Tiny Draws, Cash.
Hold on.
What are we
Was
talking
that just
about?
We talk about what happened when you walked up them stairs. That on Pyro.
What?
When he got to that parking garage,
y'all see the
I can't tell you what happened. I wasn't there.
things? Or
But
was
inside, no. All that talking, it was 10 against 1, then 18 against 1, then 20 against 1. What incident is you talking about?
This would then lead to Tiny Draws jumping on Clubhouse with Wack to argue about the incident, with Tiny Draws arguably incriminating himself and threatening Wack and suggesting that Wack was lying since he wouldn't swear on his gang that the incident happened the way he said it did.
Put that on Pyro.
Who is you though, bro?
This is Tiny Draws, Cash.
Well, what are we talking about?
We talk about what happened when you walked up them stairs. That on Pyro.
What happened?
You didn't get smacked in your head and you didn't get socked in your face.
Touch me.
Bro, put that on Pyro.
Why you nigga? You want me to
put
send
that
a
on
picture?
Pyro?
Hey, you did you would no other.
Man, look, bro, put that on Pyro.
Hey, you would know.
Man, look, I'm not, bro.
Your uncle bitch wrong got drew down on.
You put everything on Pyro. Put that on Pyro. When you came up them stairs, smacked you in your head. Put that on Pyro.
My head. Where you
put that on Pyro. Put that on Pyro. You didn't run on that stage.
Sent the picture with my eye circle like it was my eye.
Bro,
so it wasn't my head or my eye. I put that on your raggedy ass mama.
Put that on Pyro, bro. That's all you gotta do.
His DJ academics reacting to the whole situation at the time. Ack jokingly pointed out the seriousness of the Clubhouse conversation, adding that Wack seemed to be isolating himself similar to 6ix9ine, but isn't rolling with enough security.
Wack, the Game had a concert. The Game had a concert. Do y'all believe the big Pyro Wack got hit, man? Do y'all believe it or not? I've always said this. First of all, I do look at Wack as somebody with tremendous respect. I've watched him over the last couple of months, though. It's been interesting. I believe that Wack has completely isolated himself away from a lot of people that we would also consider either powerful or have some type of presence on, whether it's the West Coast or, you know, within the game. I ain't gonna lie to you. Some people have said that Wack is taking the 6ix9ine approach on some.
Ack would also add that Wack rarely gets confronted in person, but his comments about the Rollin 60s Crips and Nipsey has got him into.
I talked to Damu Kiwe.
If you have to wipe yourself raw just to get clean, do this.
Would beef with people who are really about that life.
Only thing that's on the table to protect is the artist's interest. And here's the thing. It don't seem like the game got beef with some of these people that Wack got beef with. For example, the dude who's arguing with Wack is saying, yo, after we punched on you, we partied with the game. They are involved with their own 60s. They seemingly feel away. I guess this Tiny Draws dude, because he said he put it on Neighborhood Crip. They feel a certain type of way about it.
Funnily enough, Bricc Baby would also react to this incident too, claiming to have actually personally been there as part of that group of 60s trying to rush Wack, and making fun of Wack for escaping through the crowd and getting caught in the parking lot.
So there we were still with the cop. Dead hungry. It was that deja vu game after that. 6-0. Shout out nigga, Magic, and nigga, Black. What you gonna do? Weird. You camera. We had slapped out. Yeah, the message was clear. You 6-0. You got pieced up. You jumped off the side of the stage. Everybody know the backstage of the Novo. You know how you got up off the stage or out the fans. You jumped in between the speakers. 6-0. Stop playing. Came out the back door.
Supposed to made it the other night. I'm gonna get on.
Thought you saw a ghost.
The beef would continue after this incident. In September, Big U would seemingly throw more shots at Wack.
We ain't cutting no grass. You ain't cutting no grass?
No, we ain't cutting no grass.
Nightwood.
Know about that Thunderdog.
Please blame.
Pull up.
No, it's a female.
She can pull up too. So she can come get a picture of the champ. Listen, man, I don't think y'all know this, bro. If anybody got anything to say about the big homie, cuz I'm on him. Like I told y'all before. Anybody
you better start acting like that.
Anybody got anything to say about the big homie, I'm on him.
You better start acting like that.
And then in October 2022, Wack would explain in an interview how his relationship with Big U had gone sour, saying that it had happened after Big U and Suge Knight had contacted Wack's label, suggesting that Big U should take over all of Wack's contracts, with Suge adding that Big U was the only person in LA that Wack was scared of.
Any situation that has something to do with me, whether I knew about it beforehand or not, he was also there for me. If that's what he needed to do. The fallout, once again, the two-headed snake, here comes Suge. Get a call from my label. They said, man, we really want to tell you this, but Big U came down to see us. I'm not thinking nothing of it. He has already signed to him. So yeah, Suge on the phone. Oh, okay. Still not thinking nothing of it. Like, yeah, man, they were trying to convince me that I don't know how they thought this could work, even if I wanted to do it, to give your contracts to Big U. And Suge is saying something about, this is the only guy in Los Angeles that you're scared of. Those words never came out of Big U's mouth. I'm not going to put that. Came out of Suge's mouth. Oh, yeah? Well, what you tell him? So I told him, man, we've been doing business with this man. He's like family. I got to ask you to lead office. Great. So I'm kind of in the pickle. I don't know how to feel about it. So I said, all right. I waited a week. I wanted to see if Big U was going to call me and tell me this happened. Hey, man, I went down there. Suge had me go down there and said he was going to negotiate a deal. He started saying some crazy. I had no idea he was going to say this. This is what I'm hoping, right, here. After we got on here, nothing. So I called him once. Tell a few of my comrades around me at the time, they know who they are. So everybody know was real close to me at the time. What happened? I even had that call too. When we addressed and got everybody on the phone. I'm like, yo, bro, you really went to my label? And, well, no, I didn't say it. Yeah, and about you said it, but you heard it being said in favor of you against me. Because nobody could have sent me to the office saying, yo, give Wack Big U's contracts. I'm hold on, go. Yo, for one, I didn't tell you to do that. Two, I'm not here for that. Three, that can't happen.
Big U would once again respond to Wack's claims, saying that he was straight up lying and that he had never even been at Wack's label office.
It come down to like the Wack situation. Is everything cool with that, or that ain't nothing?
No, you know it ain't cool. Now I can speak on that. I mean, you would ask me that.
Okay.
I only got one thing to say.
Yeah.
This lane talks about, this is the most beautiful thing. People just lie. And it kills me is how y'all allow people, not you, the people out there allow somebody to continue to tell lies. I mean,
Confluence presents a love story about this team's program manager and his AI partner.
Address this one. I addressed the other one about developing options. I'm gonna address this one. I'm gonna give you this one.
Okay.
One, I have never been to Alan Grunblatt's office about a deal. I just heard about this one too. For Wack 100 company, because you can't do that. If you know the music business, and I'm pretty sure you do, in the podcast business, nobody can go get nobody's contract. That's the most ridiculous I ever heard.
Wack had been active on the social media platform Clubhouse pretty much since the beginning, when it became a semi-viral hit during the early COVID pandemic. And eventually, the app became Wack's favorite social media to use, and he would build a real business around the platform, arguably becoming synonymous with it and the main face of Clubhouse. But Clubhouse has always had a limited reach due to its strategy of being more exclusive than other social medias, giving it a much more underground vibe where news would be breaking for the first.
Yeah, for those in the chat that ain't buying the bullshit that CS2 Back was selling, you're 100% right. He couldn't just come out and say, Big U cut me off because he found out I was a snitch. So he tried to make this be the reason, and he pushed that narrative. And you got people just like him that are biting on it. You know what I'm saying? Salute to the house and to the bros. What's up, Bo Money? Salute to you, King. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. What's up, baby? Let's get back to the content for y'all. We got some. We finna get into it too. We got about another
first time, rather than a viral platform like Instagram where news reaches the masses. However, in 2023, Wack would start a weekly podcast with Adam22 on the No Jumper platform, giving him a much bigger reach and a perfect outlet to attack Big U.
Any truth to the rumor that you put an alleged leader or a higher up from the other side? Is there any truth to the idea that you might have leaked their address or doxed them in some way?
Who address?
We'll edit this out. Big U?
I don't know his address offhand.
Okay. That's not true. Because somebody said that to me and I was like, wow, that seems over the line.
Well, you know, they hollering my address.
Oh, so it is true.
No, I don't know his direct address.
Okay.
But they
just to cap this off, what would have to happen between Big U and you to make
Listen, me and Big U know how to deal with each other, bro.
Right.
I don't even want to mention the man's name. But his little homies keep coming on there in the name of him, dissing the set, dissing my neighborhood, mentioning my family. Who's important? Big U?
Big U's not.
How's he important figure in hip hop? When? Where?
I mean, he's someone who's got connection to like almost every rapper out of LA, right?
No, wait, let's correct that, bro. Like, y'all get that dude too much credit. A lot of those connections come from guys like Suge, guys like me, guys like a few of his homeboys over there, right? That put him with people. Let's be real. What has he done in hip hop?
Okay.
If my name was on paperwork with contracts with the police, with police cell phones, they would hang me out to dry. If one of my homeboys was told me that I snitched on him with an alias and went on record to saying they'd hang me out to dry. If a female said that Wack baited her down, locked the door, and beat her while she was pregnant, they would hang me out to dry. Now, does he get the popularity vote of the streets? Yes.
See, this is what I was just saying.
Yes.
And of course, Big U wasn't the only one who Wack was making some explosive claims about. He would also famously claim that there was a gay tape starring none other than Nipsey Hussle, as he would explain on a DJ Vlad interview.
But to be fair, then you started kind of going hard at Nipsey. You said that there's a gay tape and like that.
Yo, Vlad, one thing you better not never do is question what come out of my mouth. You worth a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
I got $5 million. You want to bet?
I know. I'm not going to bet you. I'm not going to bet you.
Hey, let's break it down to me some punk million. I got $1 million.
Okay.
Do you want to bet?
I'm not going to bet you.
Vlad, no. Because you said, right, and it didn't come out of my mouth. Hassan Campbell recorded the conversation and released it.
That's where it came out.
It's only because of me that the damn tape still ain't came out today.
But then, during the Adam and Wack show, he would go further and say that Big U had wanted Wack to release the tape so that he could use it in a legal battle against Nipsey's estate, daring Big U to get out of line so that Wack can release proof of that.
Right, but guess who else seen him and wanted me to release him?
Who?
Big U.
Why?
Because Lord London wasn't cooperating with him, and he felt like he had some...
Damn.
Were you waiting for that?
Let's
that
go.
box to hit me? I was waiting for you to treat your ass.
Way with the baby mama that's starring in the videos, right?
Okay, so this is before her, right?
He can manage her. Oh, this is with her.
During his time with Lauren.
Yeah, so he can manage her, get her out the way, release that. Then in the flip side, he wanted me to turn around and go at the Nipsey Hussle estate and sue them for 30% of his contract. And he wanted me to make it look like I brought out his contract and now I'm going after his estate. I said, bro, check this out. I'm not releasing the tapes, right? I'm not doing that. Dude got kids. Me and Nip ain't had no problems. On Paru, we ain't had no problem. We used to talk on the phone, right? And you was just with this man every day in the studios and all this. Did you have this conversation about this 30% then? Don't wait till he die and then want to do that. That I want. It's all on my phone. I dare him to get out of line.
For the record, this tape has still never surfaced, and many people are still not convinced of its existence. Big U, on the other hand, was staying relatively quiet during this time, and at least on the surface, it seemed that he was doing good. And so was his family, with his son getting drafted into the NFL by the Los Angeles Chargers. But behind the scenes, things were about to go bad for Big U, because his trusted enforcer, Loose Cannon, had seemingly had a falling out with him. And coming into 2024, Loose Cannon's loose lips would begin to put Big U's dirt out there for the whole world to hear, as Loose would eventually begin rolling with Wack 100 and appearing with him on the No Jumper podcast. On the 21st of January 2024, No Jumper released an Adam and Wack Show episode where Loose Cannon made numerous explosive claims about Big U, while himself engaging in some grade A self-snitching. Loose would reveal that part of the reason he stopped trusting Big U was because he noticed he was doing shady things, referring to the dispensary robbery mentioned in the indictment, saying that he found it weird that he was sent to do robbery missions and then would later be forced to give part of the proceeds back, as well as finding it suspicious that Big U would hand out guns to people and take note of the serial numbers. Most notably, Loose would claim that Big U called him, saying that Nipsey got shot, but when Loose called Nipsey, he answered and was fine. But then 30 minutes later, he would get the call that Nipsey had indeed been shot and killed. Adam would then press Loose about the story, telling him to convince the audience that this call actually happened, with Loose and his girl saying that the call can be seen in their upcoming reality TV show.
Like, the Nipsey story that you just told is so explosive.
Yo.
Speak to them on why they should believe you, because I guarantee that's a huge percentage of the conversation that's happening right now. Is people saying, I don't know a ton about you to like verify it, so and I don't have a dog in this fight.
Listen, everybody that knows me, LA and the world and stuff like that, know I'm not gonna just sit there and lie. Plus, it's on my TV show. The first episode or whatever on February 14th, I'm gonna see the FaceTime call with me and Big U, and then the next.
I'm gonna say too much, y'all. Y'all gonna have to tune in. Y'all gonna have to tune into the show.
The following day, Bricc Baby would be part of the No Jumper News show, and as a self-admitted Rollin 60s member who seemingly was still fairly close with Big U, he would seemingly be mad at Loose for his wild stories about Big U, deciding to attack Loose Cannon back, accusing him of being the police, as well as questioning why Loose wouldn't mention to Nipsey that someone had just said he had been killed if the story really happened.
You act like you was coming to say that story to be for Nipsey, because you sat there and lied. You were supposed to be exposing Big U or whoever you was talking about as being a rat or informant and all that, but you told every crime that you ever did alleged around this dude, nigga, on a camera. You come in here trying to expose, trying to show internal. You're not from the set. You never got put on the set. Nowhere around it. Because, and you talk about it gave you a drop on when Nipsey was about to get killed, and you didn't even mention it to Nipsey. What type of friend are you at this point, Shark?
But Bricc wouldn't end it there. He would also attack Loose on his own YouTube and Instagram accounts, calling him the goofy of the year who's mad and lying because he can't come back to the hood, and that he's never even met Loose before, and that he's not from Rollin 60s.
Loose Cannon got the Goofy of the Year award this year. Like, all that lying because you can't come back to the section. Come on, man. All the homies said you's a goof troop. Can't come back around. And on 6 I just did my research. Boom. I never heard where you said when you see me, you go, man, I've never met you. On the dead homies, I ain't never met you. You the same just ran from my white boy in Vegas. At the Red Rock Casino. 6 trying to use names as passes and all that. Tell cuz on 6 cuz no bueno, cuz get right up out of there. You've never seen me, cuz 6 you don't know nothing about me, cuz 6 you didn't grow up with us or nothing. Who is Big Loose Cannon? We gonna start there. Who is Big Loose Cannon? 6 Let's get this clear right now, man. Loose Cannon is not from 60s. There's too many stories talk about the boy Loose Cannon from 60s. Loose Cannon is not from 60s. Never been put on. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Don't be late.
Sometime later, Loose would allegedly play the call that Big U had made to him only moments before Nipsey's death.
Of course. Listen, I'm about to play it to you right now on loudspeaker, because I had to get plugged in my speaker. Put up. You heard that, right? I'm gonna play it again.
Yeah, I heard that.
I'm gonna play it louder. Let's right now. Put up. You heard it, right?
Hey, you know what, brother? You ain't gonna rack my brain. You ain't gonna rack my brain on that. Bro, you know, but if you saying if you got validity behind that, man, that's your push, bro.
Now, many people have suggested that that was simply a low-quality AI, but regardless of how flimsy Loose's claims were, Adam22 and No Jumper would receive a cease and desist letter from Big U demanding they remove the video material of Loose and Wack discussing his possible involvement in Nipsey's murder. The No Jumper crew would discuss it during one of their episodes, during which Bricc Baby would make fun of Loose's supposed recording, calling it out as a fake, after which Adam would make a prophetic prediction saying that he needs to see much more proof from Luce, but if Big U would end up getting arrested in like 6 months' time, that would certainly make Luce's statement seem a lot more credible. And as we know, Big U would indeed end up getting arrested, although this would happen almost exactly 1 year after Adam's prediction.
I feel like that episode was out for like 2 months, and I've been awaiting proof of what was said about the Big U thing, and I haven't really seen any proof. Now, maybe it just hasn't been brought to my attention, and for sure, okay, fast forward.
Did you hear the AI?
No.
David Yerman curb chain collection.
Let's go ahead and head on to the bathroom and see if simpler is really simpler, and see if simpler can get rid of all this.
Oh, what was that?
Go ahead. Let you finish the fast.
What was the AI?
So he made an AI of, he was on live with Eddie Boy, and he made like an AI. He like, I'm finna play you a clip.
You think Loose
like,
Cannon made it?
Yeah, it said,
Oh, okay.
nephew, Nipsey dead. That's all it said.
Really?
Yeah.
Nah. He like played this on Clubhouse or something?
He played it on live. It was Instagram Live or something.
What?
Yeah.
Listen, Loose Cannon, I'm not saying you're a liar or anything. I'm just saying I need to see further proof. Now, let's say fast forward 6 months. Big U gets arrested. This is hypothetically for these acts.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, that interview becomes completely fair game, and it's an important historical record. And like we all have to look at it and say, "Oh my God, Loose Cannon, I'm so sorry. We all misjudged you. You're a genius. You were telling the truth the whole time."
However, many continue to cast doubt on Luce's claim about the phone call, as he would never end up showing video proof of it in his reality show The Baddie and the Beast, as he promised. For example, Street TV would release a long video breaking down all the different reasons why he thought the calls between Big U and Luce and Nipsey never happened, with perhaps the most outlandish fact presented in the video being that Luce has also told another version of the story, where it was allegedly Nipsey who called Luce shortly before his murder, supposedly to tell him that he wanted Loose Cannon to take over and continue his musical legacy, because somehow he knew he was going to die. This story appearing so comically fake that it would seemingly even leave the interviewer almost speechless.
More into producing and stuff. And then when I figured out, like right before Nip died, he was like, you got a voice. You need to take over and finish what I'm doing.
The question ain't even, does that sound like Big U? He promised that he was going to show the FaceTime call with Big U. Like this, FaceTime, because they got another camera filming him doing his reality show while he got the call from Big U. And what he went and did was get some Big U voice or audio off the internet, mix and match that, and that's what he showed. Don't even think it's plausible. This is why Street TV exposed this shit. Then he took a picture off the internet of Big U, the same picture they using in the case when they said he was making the video camera people check in.
And I was like, what are you talking about, cuz?
Nip told you that?
Yeah, so it was like 30 minutes before he died.
Well, how did he tell you? Through a text or what happened?
No phone call. He called me.
Wow, why do you think Nip would have said something like that?
I don't know. I just figured that he knew he was going to die.
So he called to finish off where he left off?
Yeah, he was like, nobody's like you, cuz these jealous, they envious of you. I love what you're doing. I love you, little bro. And then 30 minutes later, he died.
There would also be a very aggressive but hilarious phone call between Luce and Bricc Baby, where Bricc Baby would pressure Luce to tell when he had his put on to the Rollin 60s gang, clearly claiming that Luce was not a real member, and once again lying about his credentials, before yelling that he has more bodies than Luce has squabbles or fights, cementing Brick's image as the proud founder of the Kill Squad, the menacing name for Brick's fan base.
Adam, what's up?
Hey, Loose Cannon, I'm here live on the No Drama Show with Bricc Baby and Lush. Bricc Baby is requesting some information regarding your put on.
Hey, can you give us like at least 2 names from your put on and what block? I ain't never seen you at no meeting at Hyde Park, Horace Mann, or at 54th.
When did you get put on?
Baby, when
did you get put on? I got put on in 2002. I got put out in 2002 on Eileen Street at June House. You know what's up. Yeah, dead homie. So when you get put on?
No, you haven't, bro. You been in
Man, cause Hillbilly was a part of my put on. Killer Dave was a part of my put on. Oh, the dead homies. My first name was Baby Wild Bill. On the dead homies, and Izzy turned East Coast. That was the third. I squabbled. Who did you squabble, gang? Come on, bro. I got more murders than you got squabbles in the hood. Dead homie.
But interestingly, in the lead up to the Rico arrest, a bizarre incident would take place where Bricc and Luce allegedly ran into each other at a Las Vegas Airbnb. But to everyone's surprise, despite them both claiming to be looking to catch each other slipping, there was no violence between them. Looking back, this is bizarre considering how much they publicly hated each other. This chance encounter in Las Vegas, where they did nothing but talk, didn't really make any sense. Yet. But soon, things...
Use kayak to compare hundreds of travel sites at once? I like to do things myself.
This would get even more strange, as Wack seemingly got word of the investigation into the 2021 Las Vegas murder of Rayon Williams, passing the information to people in his clubhouse circle to investigate for a murder mystery show on his 100 side show.
This murder mystery was on Rayon Williams, a young artist with life, ambition, everything to that nature. He was found dead in the Apex Desert, which is a little northeast of Las Vegas. In head, and it was described as execution style. We know that he was last seen alive communicating with key figures such as Big U, and somewhere between these final texts and everything like that, this is where weird. We went over the physical evidence such as the DNA under his nails, possible GSR, but it never got tested. A missing phone. I mean, all of this raises so many questions. We even had suspects who emerged from this case, whether they were friends, mentors, and even those within his own circle. But the real question still remains: who had the real motive? To be honest with you, there's a lot of people in this case and a lot of key factors. The motive was there. But who was ballsy enough to do it? Who had the opportunity and who had the power to cover all of that up? Theories and our final suspect breakdowns look as, did Big U play a role with this? And if he did, what happened in those final moments?
Been in and out, but I don't know what the f you been doing in here. But my goddamn phone going crazy.
Really? By who?
Hit me. They didn't found all kind of race up. So what is this? Mother and the sister, they on my line right now.
Oh no!
Y'all hit that on my line.
That is so crazy. Shout out to the media too. I wasn't even expecting the
mother told me. You ready for this?
What's T?
She used to be the team mom for the Crenshaw Colts.
This would set the wheels in motion for the information to spread further. One key person in this saga would be 600, aka Christopher Lovejoy. 600 grew up in the Crenshaw district with the Rollin 60s.
I'm from South Central Los Angeles, the West Side, Crenshaw district, Hyde Park, California, Rollin 60s. I'm from where they made most of the movies is at. My neighborhood and my life story is kind of like Ricky and Boys in the Hood. I'm not the one who got shot. You know what I'm saying?
Later on, he would become a heavyweight boxer with an impressive looking but much criticized record that he made by mostly fighting in Mexico. And more recently, he's become known as the manager of none other than 55th Street legend Crip, before also going viral in his own right as a social media content creator who some have accused of working for the police due to his controversy.
The perfect hair day starts with the right products, and Sephora at Kohl's has the best selection to choose from for all different
controversial takes, particularly in the lead up to Big U's arrest. Because while 600 is from the same hood as Big U, he also had a falling out with him, much like Loose Cannon. So when he would become privy to the information regarding Rayon Williams' murder investigation, 600 would speak out, posting clips of a phone conversation between Wack and Rayon's family, where the family would give inside info about the case, like telling how Big U's DNA had allegedly been found under Rayon's fingernails. And 600 wasn't seemingly deterred even by the fact that Rayon's mother would call him during his YouTube live on the 11th of March, pleading with him to stop talking about her son.
You on the hotline was popping.
Yeah, you know exactly who this is.
You telling me I know who this is? You said what?
This is Rayon Williams' mother.
Okay, what's going on? How would I know who you were?
Can y'all please stop talking about my son?
What do you mean? Well, this is what you gotta understand. Whenever something is online,
it's Rayshawn Williams' mother.
okay, listen what I'm saying. When everything is online, things get spread around online. So that's just whoever put things online first, that's who needs to get it. Now I haven't spoken to you in years. Am I wrong?
Everybody that's calling you, asking you the information, don't get him, bro. Okay. And I'm serious.
Okay.
Don't piss me the off. So anybody that's hitting you up, asking you any information about my boy, and they don't have it.
No, know what? Nobody never asked me about him though.
They don't know nothing. It's none of their business.
No, nobody never asked me nothing about him.
However, the mother would also say F Big U multiple times, making it clear how she felt about him.
And I'm serious because this starting to piss me off with everybody. And yeah, I said it, Big U.
Okay.
And this is Rayshawn Williams' mama, Big U. Yeah, I said it. And I want everybody to know how the I feel. Him. His kids and his wife. Yeah, I said it. And stop speaking up on my boy. Period.
Wack would also continue to discuss this case on his Clubhouse show, and in mid-March, they would drop a bombshell by letting everyone know that the feds were coming for Big U at the end of the month. This information coming also directly off the call between Wack and Rayshawn's family, with Wack and 600 saying they went against the investigation, and apparently also Rayshawn's family by putting the call out in order to give Big U a warning to get running.
Understand, when the family is telling us this, that means their investigation is already done. Like, whatever they're doing, they already doing. Done, though. Now, the family, they told the street. Unfortunately, I felt withholding this is cooperating with the police.
I think you're right, Dante.
I'd have played this. He was arrested. They like, oh, what? You knew they was coming. You didn't say nothing. It would have been right. All the way right.
Good point, Juvie.
The family's still cussing me out. Why did you play that? Why did you tell me?
This phone call between Wack and Rayshawn's family, specifically his sister and mother, would turn out to be a treasure trove of information, revealing that not only the cops.
Hold on real quick. We was almost done. I was trying to stop it and hit the thing. Let me get this back on for y'all. My bad, y'all. I just seen you. I was over there messing with this thing.
Oh, no, you good, brother.
We almost finished with this. Then we're going to get to the no jumper. They taking shots at the crown. They hate that we the voice. Let's go, though.
22.
So it took them 3 years to do DNA?
Mm-hmm. They said that Big U was running for a long time. Like, he didn't want to take the DNA test.
So,
yep, they
wait,
found his DNA test in my brother's nails.
Okay, so, ooh, that's bad work.
So that means my brother fought. When I told you that Big U had popped up at my brother Airbnb.
I'm done with that part. So Wack got his hand on all of this, as y'all can see. He just had someone pretending. We don't know if that was really Rayshawn Williams' sister and mother. A lot of people doubt the validity of that. But whoever that was, they had him lie and say that Big U's DNA was found under Rayshawn Williams' nails. If you read the indictment, you know that that's false, right? The DNA was not a match. In fact, it came back inconclusive. They cannot rule him out, but they cannot prove that that was him or connected with him. And I'm quite sure there's thousands of other people that DNA could have possibly matched. Thousands, which is reasonable doubt. And one of the reasons why the feds are probably not having charged Big U for the murder. It's mentioned as an overt act as part of the Rico conspiracy, but they have not charged him for the murder. Hit that like button, man. We cooking. Let's go to no jumper, man. Let's go to no jumper. And then let's see where we at. Oh yeah, I gotta go get that, man. Hold on. Let me go get that. Cause it's really short, right? We're not gonna allow them to distort us that quick. Damn. Hit that like button. Sure, here we go. So you got Young and Hefe and CS2 back, the Crip cop on No Jumper, and they speaking about Do Sims to die. They call me the janitor, not the janitor. What they say? I forgot. Hit that like button. Let's get to this.
Bro, where's this right and wrong, bro? I'm gonna be on the right side every time. So
if you went over there to the park with,
so if you wrong, like nigga, I'm not gonna with you, nigga. You ain't gonna have to call my phone and tell me a nigga wrong. Don't with him, nigga. If a nigga is foul, like if you can show me some paperwork on a nigga, like he said. So let me rephrase that. He asked me if they do give me some paperwork on him, if he's hot, what I'm gonna do to him. Nigga, even though it ain't gonna mean nothing to him, nigga, I'm not gonna fuck with you, nigga.
No, but you're gonna read it. What I'm saying is, see, they old rules was, you can't read if you ain't gonna do nothing. No, that's protecting the rats.
Relating to boogie down
no, we ain't doing that no more. Anybody can read to work. You ain't got to do nothing to the nigga, but you can expose that. You can share that.
Yeah, but look. And then this another thing. So, cause because niggas really be out here, bro. Like we talking about they playing chess because they be thinking about their age. Like I told a lot of niggas in my lifetime that a lot of shit niggas got on me is just being born before me, bro. Like.
Yeah.
It ain't, bro, for real. That's it.
I'm with you on that.
Like, that's it. Like, I tell our niggas, bro, you just born before me. That's it. So, with that being said, a lot of niggas be trying to, like, speak this street justice and this street acronym and, like, got this street substance. But this is my thing. Since you got so much street substance and you want to go on a smear campaign about somebody being a snitch or rat, why would you get on camera with somebody who would tell you that they is a known tattletale to debunk another dude that you're trying to say is a snitch and or a teller, bro? It don't make no sense. That's one thing about it. If I know,
no, it makes a lot of sense. You just have no understanding. So, and this is the difference, right? We weren't debunking. Wack 100 was called research. We researched the victim of the case, Robert Ross, aka Stutterbox. We also investigated the targets of the investigation. Shaquille O'Neal and Money Mark Stevens. Del Dog was already dead, so we didn't have that option. And we got both stories, because just because a nigga is a rat doesn't mean he doesn't have facts about what happened in his life, which are corroborated by the LA Times paperwork, the LA Times news articles, and the paperwork. And we're able to filter through and connect things that we know are corroborated by the paperwork, by the ESPN and LA Times articles, as well as what Mark Stevens saying, what Stutterbox is saying, and also what CS2 Back is saying. Now, if you don't have that kind of understanding and you don't have that type of discernment, then, hey, I don't know what to do to you. Maybe you should have went to a different school. You know what I'm saying? But comprehension is something I was gifted with, especially reading comprehension. On another note, let's get back to the thing. It's nothing about debunking nothing. We exposing. Expose the exposers. You know what I'm saying? Expose the debriefers.
You bad, nigga. I'm not about to befriend you because I'm beefing with him to try to get you to spill the beans on him, bro. Like, what sense does that make if I'm saying I'm solid? I'm on camera with another dude that told, trying to make him debunk, saying that somebody else told, bro. Like where does that make any sense?
The rules is all out the window. It ain't no rules no more.
Come on, bro. Like people got to acknowledge that this man got on camera with Stutterbox, live Zoom, Stutterbox to tell you, and I ain't got no problem with him. You feel me? Just like, you know, if I get called out my name by anybody, and definitely by something that I'm not, like, I'm going to respond. So it's like, Stutterbox to tell you itself, like, what happened. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to get on here and speak on it.
Call me right now today.
Look. Stutterbox.
Keep it real with you.
Yeah, Stutterbox to tell you itself what happened. You feel me? Right. So it's like you got on a Zoom camera him. You supposed to be solid. You got on a Zoom camera him trying to debunk Wack about Wack being hot, but you talking to somebody hot. What sense does that make, bro?
You know, he been apologizing to Box. She's running from Box right now.
Yeah.
Like a motherfucker.
And then he told me that.
Oh yeah. Also, as far as me running from Box, yeah, I don't beef with rats. You know what I'm saying? You don't beef with snitches. Niggas that tell you, I'll meet up with you, and I ain't even gonna call the police this time. Nigga, get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? And the difference is, I'm on a FaceTime with the dude interviewing him. Bro, you sitting next to this nigga, laughing at his jokes. You don't see a difference in that? Nigga, Box definitely don't like me because I told him I don't fuck with rats and don't agree with what he did. I guess y'all don't have that problem. Y'all accept anything, right? Let's go.
I thought it was gonna be the pull up yesterday, but kind of find out
he's in Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin. I'm like, man, what?
Him and Maria out there with that lash bar.
Man told me that
he's a custodian.
The man told me, hey, if you keep on talking, my next thing.
That nigga said he's a custodian. Hey, salute to all the custodians out there, man. Get your bag however you got to, man, as long as you don't compromise your integrity. You know what I'm saying? At least they ain't saying I'm a paid federal confidential source, but nigga. You know what I'm saying? At least they ain't saying that I take 3 fingers in my ass and I'm J. Edgar Hoover and drag, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
I'm a custodian.
Hey, I'm a custodian.
I clean toilets.
I clean toilets. Dummy. Let's go.
He's a custodian.
I'm gonna put it out there about how you got problems with your homies.
He
you
a
can't be in your set. I'm
custodian.
sitting right here in the set right now. Like,
hey, for real. You know we got his work. He beat a chick, threw her in the trunk. This is what he go to jail for. He beat a chick up, threw her in the trunk. Here's him putting in work. You from Fruittown, Brim. Okay, let me tell you the ugly part about it, right? This is the ugly part. Look.
Everyone should give their dog Fresh Pet. They're a part of our family, so they deserve a quality meal too.
Fix this real quick.
Do you hear that?
Kiwe.
The call that brought Harvey Firestone.
Like now, one thing about it,
female.
I ran, you know, me and Big U ran a long time, right?
Yeah.
Now, do you know the GRID program? Deuce M's is the one that originated that. We knew nothing about it. It's on the internet. He ran a 3-hour room called the nigga Big U, aka COINTELPRO, the rat. Deuce M's ran this room. This is how we found out about the goddamn GRID. We didn't know about it, right? Now watch this. Big U has heard that, right? So then I look up and he like, I'm gonna play on Big U to try to get on World Star. Because we had the World Star contract, right? Come to find out, Deuce M's got a brother named Booker Brim from Fruittown Brim, OG nigga. Big U nigga up and PC him up. So now you got this nigga who brother got PC'd up by Big U. Big U didn't heard this dude disrespecting him, but at the time, that's when the heat was on. He had no internet presence, right? So he used him for that. What he don't know is when he had him down there passing out the backpacks, that was Debater. Oh, you willing to come down? That was Debater, right? He has no idea the fact that Big U heard you. He nigga ran a 3-hour room. The world didn't know about the GRID until Deuce M's exposed it.
No, I think boxing.
This how we found out about it. I'm oblivious to this shit, right? And a nigga ran a crazy room, right? Nigga, Big U is never gonna forget that. I don't care what you do. You could go drop his wife off $1 million a day, 600. The work you put in.
I'm glad you said that because I was supposed to make sure I clarified that differentiate. Mike B said, and you made Box own up to what he did. That's the difference between me on the phone interviewing a dude that cooperated and these niggas that's sitting with him. Before we could talk, Box had to admit he should have kept it in the street. And if niggas call him a snitch for that, he got to wear it. That's Main Street business. I ain't got no issue and ain't finna stand on that for the Main Street. Let me hear about this case. We talked and interviewed him about the case from a journalistic position. Not a buddy. I can help blow up your podcast, or I can pay you this money. Nothing like that. See the difference? Integrity. We don't confuse our base, and I didn't lose a lot of numbers from doing that documentary and that journalistic work. In fact, that documentary did over 4 million views. 4 million. I wonder, could he say the same thing about him meeting up with CS2 back? Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. I never confuse my base, never compromise my integrity. Everything on the up and up. But from a journalistic standpoint, that's what I strive to be, to grow into. I'm not trying to be a brim, nigga. That's been in me. I was born one. I ain't trying to be a gangster. That came to me naturally. I've been that everywhere. The halls, the streets, YA, the feds, 10 years, state, 8 years. In my fed time, I didn't hit no low. USPs, smooth programs, shoe programs. It's definitely a difference. But getting out with aspirations to do something other than what I did before, that's where my growth and evolution continues to go. And won't you or nobody else ever stop that evolution until I'm no longer on this planet. See, a lot of people be so small-minded, and what Nipsey say, niggas act like they are afraid to grow. Like it's a problem to grow mentally. I'm not friends with Stutterbox. You just heard him say Stutterbox got me copping deuces. I'm copping deuces because I don't beef with rats. I know how you got to do a rat. You can't be complacent with and barter and bargain with a rat. You set that trap and you make sure that motherfucker never come back. And since I'm not prepared to stand on that, his issue should be with these reporters and with himself. Let's get back to the content. If you call this content, let's go.
On him, right. He's never going to forget that.
He letting that go.
He's not letting it go. He'll come kick it with you, eat what you else. One day.
Yeah.
One day he's going to address it.
So for those that aren't fully across what's going on here, essentially you're saying that Deucems exposed
Big U the Brick. This is where we got it from. So we was oblivious of it. I'm giving him his credit. He wrote the content.
We would have never known.
We wouldn't have never known.
But Wack, you was running around with Big U during that time, right? Like, how the f- you don't know about that shit, right?
No, because what I know. Hold on. No.
Do anybody? Let me see. Give me a 1 in the chat if y'all want me to educate y'all on what they're talking about me exposing and reading the grid program paperwork. Give me a 1 in the chat if y'all want to see that. Man, listen, man. First, I am certified in floor care and janitorial services, but I'm not a janitor. Yeah. 1. Okay, Spirit Wonder, just so you know. Big U, I did read the grid paperwork. I was sent it by a different YouTuber. Unbeknownst to me, the grid paperwork had a clause in it, which means that each organization that gets donations from the grid budget must train for the grid program. They must have maintained a triangle of communication with the police, LA City Hall, and their office of whatever or nonprofit organizations with the grid, and all of these other things. They must have these phones. What's the BlackBerry phones, right? Big U said they weren't doing none of that. It was outdated. They didn't believe Big U said that he wasn't doing that, and said that Big U was a rat. I believe it was a rat, and challenged Big U to come publicly as a leader from our community. Fuck some gangbang shit. As a leader of our community and address these issues. I found out before I met with him that it wasn't every organization's deal wasn't painted with one brush. But I didn't tell Big U that. So when I got on the phone with Big U and we talked, the first question I asked him assured me exactly what I believe, what I had learned in time. And I apologize to Big U. When I pull up to Crenshaw, we go to the studio, I'm making sure that he knows I'm accessible, because if he wanted to fight me, I would have had to give him that fade. If he wanted to kill me, I would have had to fight for my life. Whatever it takes. I'm not like this bitch ass nigga. That's a PC case. Can't go to his own hood. Scared to walk around LA without 50 niggas. Without bodyguards. We different, nigga. We ain't in the same category. I'm a man of principle. And because I assume and question this leader's integrity, I felt fucked up. I felt compelled to give him whatever he needed, whether it was a fade, bang out, whatever, because I wronged that man. That's what men do. Accept responsibilities. And just for those who don't know, salute to Young and Hefe. This is already old. We already done conversated. He admitted where he was wrong and apologized. Same exact situation. Right? Got off to a bad start. And then I apologized for all of the disrespect I said after he disrespected me. So that this whole situation is already over with Young and Hefe, but it's the content. So we're going to address some of these issues, and we're going to address it respectfully. Right? But as far as the Big U topic, Spirit Wonder, that's what they was talking about. Saying that I read the thing 3 hours and they didn't know nothing about it. Listen, man, I don't know what they knew about. I already know that the nigga, what was the nigga name? I don't even want to say his name. Whatever the YouTuber name was that told me he didn't fuck with Wack either, he was compromised. He talking about, as he ended up hitting me up, hey, could you give me Wack number? He trying to holler at me. Weird. I thought you told me that Wack was the police. You know what I'm saying? But in any event, the shit with Booger, he's a goddamn lie. You know what I'm saying? When the wiretaps come out, y'all gonna be able to hear the truth and shit, because them phones was tapped, right? So when the wiretaps come out on the draws down indictment, y'all gonna get all of the good kind. After what Wack in, he's out of touch. This nigga ain't from LA. This nigga is from the Valley. He doesn't know LA niggas business like that. He just throwing shit out there hoping that y'all would bite. Booger was never in the penitentiary with Big U. Booger and Big U was in the county 2003, and Booger called Big U out for that fade. Dead homies. And they got that fade. squashed their beef, prayed together because they both Muslims, right? And then when Booger got to the yard, he was in Kern Valley, did some foul shit, robbed some niggas for about $9,000. Took his beating. Fight for Booger ain't shit. Big nigga brawler, right? While he in the hole, they come and bring kites. The Bloods don't want him back on there. On top of that, Booger got told on and got a life sentence. And that's my little brother, nigga. 2 years younger than me. So he said he wasn't banging no more. He said he didn't want to be in the gang no more. And his career as a gang member was ended. Over. Immediately. Big U had nothing to do with that. So that's the whole story that he's trying to flip the script to, but the nigga cat, you know what I'm saying? But let's go back to the content, because we got some other content. My boy Scandalous Los Angeles TV put out a dope ass video.
What I knew about, these are things I helped him with. Graffiti removal, back to school shit. When Shaq sent the trailers for Christmas and Thanksgiving, and the Crenshaw coats, I would donate. Because what he was doing, he was only charging the kids $100. That's not enough to cover shit. So
What do you mean he was charging the kids?
That's all he charged the kids to play. Usually costs $400-500 to play football.
Okay.
So he knew they didn't have it, so he would charge them $100.
Yeah.
So
one more thing. When Booger decided he won't want to bang no more, I told that nigga he's still supposed to came out and banged out. Then said he wasn't banging no more. For the record, nigga. But that's his decision. That's something my little brother decided for his life. He's doing life in prison. Let's go.
What he would do is use his resources and say, hey, bro, I'm this. So I remember I would always sponsor the, was it 9U helmet and shoulder pads. It was like $2,500. And he would buy the helmet and shoulder pads. The shit you saw Nipsey do at the awards, the following year was me and Nick Cannon. We was there. He gave us
the hosting of the
He
event.
gave us the award. No, he gave us an award, right? For helping out the thing. So when you said developing options, I knew it to be these things. I didn't know nothing about no goddamn this other shit. And I ain't gonna lie. Nigga, when I read the paperwork and I seen, because I used to always ask him, bro, why the hell you got a BlackBerry? He like me. He's not savvy.
Hey, real quick. I think that's DeGante. Yeah, DeGante Cobbin. Salute. He said, well, Deuce, you owned up to it like a man and apologized. When you a real one, it's easy to accept a genuine apology. Fuck a fight. We can educate each other after a misunderstanding. Now, let me talk about Young and Hefe, right? Because you're 100% right, DeGante Cobbins. Fuck some gangbang shit and fuck being a real one. That's called being a man. See, when a father teaches his son accountability, don't tattletale on nobody else because you got caught doing something you weren't supposed to do. You own up for your actions, right? When you're wrong, how could you grow mentally? How could you evolve and grow mentally if you don't do self-criticism, if you don't admit to your weaknesses and strengthen them? Damn, I can't do these pull-ups. I could do 1,000 dips, but I get on a pull-up bar, I could barely do 4. Okay, well, look, we're going to turn that weakness into a strength. Let's do 5. I'm going to help you do 5. Once you do 4, I'm going to help lift you till you do 5. Now, you're doing 5 by yourself next week. Then I help you do 6. Now you're doing 6 because you admitted where you weren't that strong at. And you strengthen that. That's how you work on yourself. That's how you grow. So the same exact way that I accept the responsibility and Big U admired it. When you know better, you do better, right? Now, the exact same respect that they have for me for being public and standing on my 10 toes is exact same respect I have for Young and Hefe. I sent him, well, we'll get into that we gonna have to link up with Young and Hefe. But make a long story short, I told him, and he thought that I called him Buster first. When I said Buster Douglas, he didn't know that was the Crip cop nickname, right? So that's why he jumped in the thing. First comment I see, he talking about you's a buster. You could have called me on the phone or whatever. And from there, it went left. I'm not accustomed to accepting no disrespect. You know what I'm saying? So from there, it goes all the way left. But when he realized that he jumped the gun and disrespected me first, he was a man. Fuck a gangster. Gangsters is egotistical, territorial, arrogant. I'm the exact same thing. He put his pride to the side as a man. So fuck some gangbang shit. I'm talking about Young and Hefe as a man. Nigga, I respect who he is in his inner core. So when he just said that he tries his hardest to be on the right side of things, once he seen he was on the wrong side of that situation, he corrected it. So salute to Young and Hefe, his parents, and his G homies that help instill that into him. And all of those along the way. Because that definitely stands out, especially to a nigga like me. Let's go get them likes up.
I use this phone for like 15% of what it can do. I don't know how to do a bunch of shit.
QCP. There's a thing called the App Store.
Yeah, I don't know how. Whatever I don't know how to do, I just call my girl. They do. I got a whole team on the motherfucker. He know it. If I need something converted,
600.
If I need something converted, I go on the Clubhouse. Dreas, convert this link. Right. Yeah. I got somebody to do it. I don't got time to learn how to do that shit. So when I seen issued a BlackBerry cell phone to keep in contact with 77th Street Crash Division, oh nigga, I've been seeing it with the phone since 2011. So what I did, I had Big Chuck from Death of the Clout Chaser when he was like always, I lined him. You know what he did? I ain't never owned a BlackBerry. He don't know. I got the video with him and Suge in his backyard playing ping pong with the BlackBerry in his hand.
Damn.
Right? I just had to line him. Well, whenever I ask you a question, nigga, I already know the answer. Yeah. I just want to see if you're going to lie to me.
I actually asked him too.
That's whacking enough. So yeah, we gonna get off him. We gonna cut him. Like enough of him.
Give me another question.
Bam. So the first thing, because I seen the Monster Cody thing sometime down the line.
We're gonna get up off of that one now. We just want to get to that one as it pertains to us. We're not in the habit of running no jumper content like the rest of these dudes on YouTube who all they focus on is the bullshit on no jumper. It's not like they actually push what they believe is best for our community. Let's get on this. This bitch Stanky Cock Girl. Cock spelled with a K. SKG. Let's get into this. My boy, Scandalous Los Angeles TV. My brother, I've been on his helmet talking shit. That's my nigga out. For sure. Hey, I made up lies on him. I slandered him all day. Talk shit, you know what I'm saying? A lot of bullshit really be misunderstanding. He must have felt like he was a buster if he took it the wrong way. He sounded like a high school girl. Pride comes before the fall. Yeah, and I done fell a lot because of my pride. At least I'm learning. You know what I'm saying? And I still ain't the best with it. I'm a real egotistical motherfucker, right? And arrogant. So yeah, I could be that way, but I'm working. I'm a work in progress. Salute Due Sims, Yael. Peace to the tribes in North America, man. Peace to the tribes in North America. Still fuck that nigga. He deals with Wack like Bernie Mac. Say fuck him. No, listen, P. Jones, I get that. Y'all gonna feel how y'all feel on that. I don't say that I disagree that because he still fuck with them and that brings that whole situation. But had he not called me a buster, what I'm saying, where it had went, where I called him a buster and all of the verbal aggressive threats and all of that, it went way out of line. See, I can agree to disagree with somebody, and we could have had that talk. Are you compromised? Which was my intent, but it went left so quick. Fuck all of that. You ain't disrespecting me and coming up on my platform. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely get that, and I can understand how you could look at it like that. Don't mean it's not wired or tape. I think they got the whole no jumper tap. If they had who was it? One of Big U's crime's car shops was bugged with wiretaps. Nigga, you think they ain't got no jumper wiretap and they been under investigation? Come on, guys. Scandalous Los Angeles
TV, where we expose the exposers. Today, we'll be talking about the way CS2back used SKG as a weapon to go after Big U. Not just his name, but his contracts as well.
My point exactly, Degante.
We're also going to break down how CS2back used Adam and No Jumper to bring it all together, to wrap the lies in a nice little bow and feed it to the public like truth. For 3 years straight, CS2back has been on a coordinated smear campaign against Big U. Porky himself went on record and admitted he came at Big U in 4 different phases. One of the key phases of this campaign, Porky openly stated that he wanted.
Damn, what's going on? Hold on, let me take this off. I don't know what's going on with my
to go after Big U's contracts.
Wack said 100 times he was gonna take my contracts. He working with the FBI. Wack said 100 times he was gonna take my contracts. He working with the FBI. I keep telling niggas I work in phases. Let me see how smart you are, Brock. What was the last bullet I lied?
Welcome to the big news report. Our top story. Money is very good. I have some money, but would like to have more money. If you want to save money, go to JCPenney this weekend for a really big deal, and then bring some of the money to me.
Damu Kiwe Conversations.
Today, you didn't just see your government.
You with me?
You saw every resident. But hey,
100%.
Sheikh Hydrocell.
All right, we're gonna skip this real quick, and then we back to it. Let's go.
I'm gonna give you the last 3. All right, go ahead. I'm gonna give you the last 4. I released the paperwork with the police. I know where this is going. Then I double back and released the signature line with him and Nipsey Hussle on the contract and told him, say another word, I'm gonna let him see what the contract is you sent me. Right? I'm all ears. Then the female SKG. We're going at your character and them contracts you got over there, boy. We're going at your character and them contracts you got over there, boy.
Let's be clear. Every single time you've seen or heard SKG, it wasn't by accident. It was one of Porky the Pyru's phases, strategic moves he admitted to launching in his campaign against Big U. Porky even said it himself. SKG was a tool, used specifically to attack Big U's character and sabotage his contracts. That's not speculation. That's his own words. Now peep this. The day after Adam 22 was reportedly visited by the feds.
But while I'm in my house, I'm playing poker on my computer, guy comes to my front door, and I didn't actually even know. Oh, but my girl was communicating with him through the box in the front of our house with the camera. She texts me, she says, a dude is here from the FBI, and basically he's trying to serve you with a subpoena. And so she told him, Adam's not here, and he's off at work or whatever. I forget what she told him. And so I immediately hop on the line with my lawyer. I say, what should I do? I don't want to, handle this situation wrong. Over and over and over, I've sat down with rappers or whoever who tell me about situations in which they divulge too much information to the police or whoever, and it ended up coming back to bite them. Especially something that comes to mind is like, now that being said, I'm not really that worried because I know that I myself haven't been
involved in any criminality, but I figured I would have my lawyer take care of it. So my lawyer reaches out to the guy who came to my door. She assures me that she's going to be able to ask the FBI agent a handful of questions, and from that information be able to ascertain, is Adam in trouble? Is Adam going to be, forced to hand over a crazy amount of information? Because that was kind of lingering around in my head, is like, God, this is going to be a huge pain in the ass if they want to confiscate all the computers and everything in here. We're going to have to buy a bunch of computers to use.
Where's the furnace? Start the furnace up, guys.
I don't know. I was considering that. I've not destroyed any information for the record. But this is the thing that my lawyer comes back to me with. She said the feds were interested in one thing and one thing only. Because in my head, I'm thinking they're going to want copies of the podcasts that Bricc or Luce were on. They're going to want to make sure that there wasn't anything in those podcasts that was edited out. Now, anybody who knows me and No Jumper knows that we really don't like to edit things out. So the only stuff we're editing out is if it's like a 4-alarm fire, like, yo, we need to take this out. So I don't think there's ever been something that Bricc or Luce told us that they needed us to edit out. But the one thing that the feds wanted was the cease and desist from Big U to No Jumper, asking us to take down the episode in which Loose Cannon first made the explosive statements that suggested that Big U had previous knowledge of Nipsey Hussle's death. Now, that situation is very much outside of what was mentioned in the indictment. In the indictment, there's nothing about Nipsey. There's nothing about any of that stuff. So this to me is kind of massive because it makes me feel like, oh, the FBI is interested in what Big U's involvement in Nipsey's death might be, which to me seems gigantic. I don't know why that cease and desist is not going to help them prosecute Bricc Baby or Loose Cannon or anybody else. The fact that they're interested in that, to me, adds quite a bit of credibility to the argument that perhaps Nipsey Hussle's death was a more complicated situation than it appears to be.
Well, when this
gave it to him, though,
isn't it?
We did hand it over, yeah.
Isn't this when that
I mean, really, like.
So it's safe to say you the feds.
I'm happy to help the feds with talking about a document that we have. I'm happy to help the feds with talking about a document that we have obviously discussed on here over and over, and which doesn't implicate anybody that I know or whatever. It's it's not like.
It's okay. Protect your family's dreams under our roof. American Family Insurance.
Hey,
Let's get that money, man. Let's go. The very next day, after Adam 22 was reportedly visited by the feds, he dropped an interview featuring SKG, the same woman that Porky openly admitted to using as a weapon to attack Big U's character and contracts.
Weeks have passed, Nipsey started calling me. So this is where I got mad at Nipsey because I'm like, did you set me up? So remember, I didn't see him no more after this meeting. Nipsey started calling me.
And this is probably what year?
2009.
Adam 22 is clearly playing his part in the broader agenda, helping push the exact same narrative Porky laid out. What you're witnessing is collaboration, not coincidence.
He down the Rio coming out. I keep telling motherfuckers, I've been sitting back waiting.
She crying hard as hell.
Oh, no, I know what's going on, but we're going to let her say what's going on. Let me know when you're ready to read the caption, AP.
Oh, I'm ready.
Go ahead and mute up. Everybody mute up.
This is from Halicia Hoyce, y'all. At Big U. You took damn near everything from me. Everything. You violated me. You played in my face with my family. You lied on my name. You put your hands on me and made me lose everything. You beat me while I was pregnant and gave me PTSD for years. You told people not to do business with me. You tried to blackball me because you couldn't bully me. I'm not carrying another year of this burden on me. What you did to me. You are such a monster. You know, and I know. Can y'all play that content?
I have been crying all day, y'all. Like, I just came from Miami doing an interview with Tasha K. And when she dropped that interview, you guys are going to understand so fucking much. For years, I have carried shit with me that people's done to me, made me lose. And I haven't said shit. You understand me? Nothing. I haven't said nothing. I carried that shit. And these niggas, black men, are so... You guys are so fucked up towards women in this industry, bro. Like, this shit has made me angry over the years, and I didn't understand it because
listen to when I say this. This bitch really just said black men and the way they treat women in this industry. In this industry. This bitch is playing victim in the industry because her career went nowhere. Bitch, you was sucking Suge Knight dick, got named Suge Knight Girl. He put you on a song with Pop, one of the only songs by Pop that I do not know word for word because you were garbage. What the fuck Big U blackballing you got to do with the rest of the black men in the industry? You fucking fake ass Karen. What the fuck is wrong with this broad? Playing victim. And it's so disgusting because there are real victims in this industry. And I'm quite sure that everything didn't go our way. You never know what a woman went through. But y'all finna see exactly why I despise bitches like her, especially feminine black women who jump on that feminist movement and attack and blame black men for all of their problems. That's a disease. That's called self-hate. You're going to have a problem with any strong black male figure you have. And she does. Matter of fact, let's get to this real quick. So while y'all see her playing this victim role, I want to make sure that y'all understand exactly who this bitch is, right? Let's go to this one first. Bear with me. Let's go here. Cause y'all gonna be shocked to hear this woman who was playing victim, right? And I'm gonna get to these comments before we before we even read this. We're gonna get to these comments. Let me blow this up a little bit to make sure that y'all can see them, and then we'll get back into the video. Y'all can see that's the verified account from Alicia, SKG, right? Suge Knight's girl, right? Stanky Cock girl, right? Oh, y'all can't see it. Now y'all can. So let me show y'all this bad actor who hates black men. She projects that publicly that she has an issue with black men. Talk about Willie Lynch syndrome. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what y'all was saying. What is she doing? I know she fucking lying. Inglewood Legends laughing. It don't get no faker than that, Gregory Womack. Black Karen's hashtag SKG in the chat. The cry just sent me laughing. Stanky Coochie Groupie. Tyler Perry should be calling SKG for a part in his new movie. Her acting skill lineup. No, it's bad acting, bro. She's a bad actress. See what I'm saying? Timu award goes to, and the award goes to, I want to salute everybody that came in and hit the like button. You are appreciated. Thank you. Hey, thank you, Mike B. She definitely a bad actor. Rewind that shit. I'm screaming. Peach. She sound like the Chronic 2001 song. Now, mind you, CS2 Back this is the broad. CS2 Back said, see, I work in phases. And I'm going to go ahead and play that at the end of this video, and then we're going to get out of here, right? SKG, the lies she told now showing on Tubi. Poogaroo, everybody laughing. I muted that shit. Is it over? No, not yet. We got to go through more of that. Stank Cooch Girl. Yeah, man, that's nasty, nasty work. That was like an episode of The Young and the Restless. A step or two up from her shitty acting. Hey, I don't think the feds was looking for the Yeah. Okay, there we go. I'm back on. So let me finish this because that storm had our power off all this morning, right? Top of the evening, salute to you, third graders, act better, all my children. Damn, they own her. Yeah, exactly. So look at this. This is the letter I get from SKG, the DM, right? You sound fucking stupid, you punk bitch. I had the best brother in the world. My brother ain't never in life violated me. And the only thing Suge ever did was take my publishing, and I still respect him because he gave me a chance. On the other hand, Eugene Henley did everything I said he did, and everyone knows, and not play with you. Nigga, you don't pump no fear in my heart. Stealing from K-Day, the lies you tell, you literally just said a DM of lies. Pulled a gun on my kids. I have grown kids that will speak and clown the fuck out of you. You worthless ass nigga. They need to put a bullet in your head. You the worst type of nigga. Your mother is a worthless bitch for having you. Now let's talk about them boys you was messing with. Bitch, look at you. I said, let me buy your book and show you. Buy it. Hold on. Let me find the link since you love lying. You want to be famous, I'm going to make you famous. What I say, you masculine foul bitch. Right? So, hold on. That was the same one, and then it was one more. There's a free copy, bitch. Now get to work. Just say you're jealous of my accomplishments. You loser ass will never be shit, bitch ass nigga. Now get to work, ho. You're the face of what black men should never be. Bitch, something you can never fathom. You're old, miserable, and a bum. White big you nut off your chin. There's the book, bitch. Now get to work, ho. Later. I said, Big U? Who mentioned Big U? You seem obsessed. Did he upset you? Because I wouldn't have fucked your ugly ass either. Fat Pillsbury dough, uncomfortable built shaped bitch. Right. So I went in on the bitch, right? But yeah, this is the one that's on here playing the victim right now. You know what I'm saying? Talking about they need to put a bullet in my head. Then she bring up Big U. I'm like, Big U? Ain't nobody even said nothing about Big U. Bitch, you obsessed with that nigga. You know what I'm saying? This is she remind me of the white chick that's always falling down in the horror movie. Hashtag Black Karen SKG. Yeah, let's get that hashtag going. Because we want to remind the people. So, they said YouTube is tripping. Lou said Black Aryan, laughing my ass off. Somebody probably reporting this, real talk. Could be. But YouTube been tripping. And we had a storm last night and that knocked out the power in our neighborhood until like 10 o'clock this morning. Oh, Wack, mad. He reported the show, huh? He definitely do that. Deuce, I think she upset with you. Yeah, hey, but I'm saying, how can you play victim? Now, mind you, I got mental health issues. All my crimes been violent, right? I caught a opposition in the set and I tried to knock them down. That's what I went to YA for, right? Violence. I get out of YA, I'm placed on gang service project, parole. That's special gang service project because I had a gang-related crime that I went to YA for, right? On top of that, I robbed banks. Then I just went to jail for assaulting. I am a violent motherfucker. And you talking to a nigga like me, I ain't that good or that holy enough to withhold back myself. Big U better than me. And then I know I'm facing 3 strikes, you dumb bitch. So if I put my hands on you, I'm going to try to make sure that I get 25 to life for doing something. You understand what I'm saying? These is the type of games you playing, not knowing who the fuck you dealing with. But I don't think that she's serious. I do believe she has some traumatic experiences and she blames the world. She got low self-esteem, a failed career. She seeks out to be some and in the spotlight and has nothing to offer to the world that we want. Your story is not interesting to no one. So, and then I could understand why you can't keep a man. You attack Big U at a gala where he's doing fundraising for his nonprofit for children with your daughters with you, traumatizing them. That same trauma that you went through, you're bringing and presenting this, traumatizing your children. You could never be a bitch that I fuck with, let alone the mother of my child. Unqualified. And you play victim. She sounds dumb. A whole child-minded broad. She needs to get over it. Yeah, but you know what's crazy, Mo Hill? People heal at their own pace, right? But this is counterproductive to your healing, right? You assaulting a man. What if Big U was as burnt as me? What if Big U said, damn, I'm finna go to jail, and really tried to break your motherfucking neck right there on camera and didn't give a fuck? Niggas, oh, Big U is wrong, and bitch, because you got a pussy does not mean that gives you the permission to oppress me, physically assault me. My homeboy got stabbed by a bitch a year and a half ago. Dead. So I'm supposed to underestimate you when you talk about if you had your gun, you would have downed that nigga Big U? No, bitch, I'm going to take you for your word and treat you like a nigga because you ain't one, and I'm going to try to hurt you. Don't play with, I'm not the type of nigga to play with. I'm not there. So you had the right one, and I support Big U for being able to maintain his composure and dealing with that situation, maintaining his professionalism as a black activist that night. Because I would have been in jail that night. Even though I know Wack is on the phone, she was FaceTiming Wack while she's doing it, taking instructions from a federal source. So whether you know you working with the federal source or not, it doesn't matter. You're a dupe, and he's using your dumb ass to put me in jail and make me lose my contracts. Okay, well, I'm going to go to jail. They're going to give me 3 strikes. So let me make sure that you don't do this to another black man. I'm going to make sure nobody else got to deal with you ever again in your life because it's over. That's how I'm going to go, because you're playing with my life. You're playing with my freedom. And me understanding that, nigga, I'm not finna play no games with it. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a pussy. Oh, black men, this bitch. Let's get back to the content. Scanlon's going to continue to expose the bitch. But I just wanted to show y'all the bitch that we dealing with that's on here playing victim. Nasty work, man. Yeah, we got about 6 minutes. She blaming him for her losing her job at K-Day when the bitch got caught stealing. This is the type of shit I'm talking about. Bitch that don't accept responsibility for none of her actions want to blame this man for all of her failures. Bitch, didn't nobody tell you to steal from them people? He made me lose my job at K-Day, and this bitch, you got caught stealing. Let's go.
I get into it with people years, I'd be so fucking angry because of what this nigga did. I can't trust nobody. And then I help somebody.
We're gonna go back about a minute, man. Let y'all hear all of that fake shit.
Trauma. This nigga Big U. I told Tasha K everything this man did to me. Jumped on me while I was pregnant. Beat me. Locked me in a fucking spot. Made me almost lose my baby. And I had a fucking salary job at K-Day.
Almost lose her baby. Then she say lose her baby.
And I carried it. It spelled my name. And all I wanted to do was fucking work. I've been dealing with this shit and holding this shit in for fucking years, bro. Y'all have no clue. Years I get into it with people. Years I be so fucking angry. Because of what this nigga did, I can't trust nobody. And then I help somebody and they cross me. Then a person smack me out and lie on my name. It is so many people that I have fucking helped. So many people, I put money in their pocket. I feel like I can't take this shit no fucking more. I almost lost my fucking life because of this nigga Big U. Because of what he did to me. And Tasha K was the only person who said she would tell my story.
That's SKG.
I don't know why they stopped it.
Who SKG, huh? She a rapper. She out the 60s over there. She be over there. Yo, keep playing that shit.
But you're coming in here and you're trying to bogart and knock me out the way when I brought you in. So within the meeting, he did all that, and I closed out the meeting, and my colleagues rode with me, and he seen that. A week passed, and Nipsey's calling me. He's like, sis, where you at? Where you at, sis? I need the posters. I wasn't going over to the neighborhood, to the 6-0s, because I was really busy. And I'm like, Nip, I'm going to come, but I can't come right now. I pull up, walk in. Him and Fats is behind the counter. I'm like, what's up, bro? And I'm talking to him. And as I'm talking to him, I get this eerie feeling. And then I hear a slam, clack, clack. And I realized I was sad. The door slammed. When I turned around, Big U was there and another guy, and he just slapped me. I grabbed my face and I'm like, what you slap me for? And he was like, bitch, you gonna bear.
That nigga said,
First me in the meeting, bitch. And then he just jumped on me.
SKG claims she was assaulted by Big U while she was pregnant, right inside Nipsey's own store. She says Nipsey and his late associate Fats set her up. Why? Because Big U felt disrespected during a meeting with LA's KDAY radio station.
Wack, can I say something?
Yeah, 1 second. Wait, hold on 1 second. SKG, what's up? What's up, mama? What you got to say?
And another thing is when they talk about development options, and this is where it's like Black women are never protected. When I got beat up and I got jumped on, his director was there from development options, so it wasn't just Big U, it was also Bear Claw. So it wasn't just Big U, it was also Bear Claw.
In her newest version of the story, SKG now implicates Bear Claw, a name that just so happens to be tied to the federal Rico indictment alongside Big U in Operation Drawdown. But let's rewind for a second. When SKG first started speaking on this situation, she didn't say a word about Bear Claw. Her original story placed the blame on Fats and Nip, claiming they were the ones who set her up. Bear Claw's name never came up, not once, in those early versions. By suddenly inserting Bear Claw, she wasn't just going after Big U. She was strategically positioning herself to help discredit Developing Options, the non-profit organization tied to Big U and Bear Claw. Then to seal the deal, Porky sends SKG to No Jumper with Adam 22. And that's where she ties it all together, all the shifts in her story. She packages it in one big public hit piece.
Weeks have passed, Nipsey started calling me. So this is where I got mad at Nipsey because I'm like, did you set me up? So remember, I didn't see him no more after this meeting. Nipsey started calling me.
And this is probably what year?
2009.
Okay, so like 10 years before he passed. Still super early in Nipsey's career.
Right. So I didn't see him anymore. So then a few weeks later, Nipsey's calling. He's like, sis, I need my posters. Because remember, I was doing Nipsey's campaign for him and I had all his posters. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come through. I don't end up coming through. He called me again. I need the posters. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come through. I don't come through. He called me again. I finally decide to go through. When I go to him, now mind you, I still haven't talked to Big U. So I go to Nipsey's shop. I walk in his shop. Him and Fats, they're out at the counter. I walk up. I'm talking to him, and I just hear the click, click. And it was like I knew. That was that. I just knew. It's like it's a setup.
Oh, wow. Click, click, like somebody had a gun drawn on you?
No, click, click. They closed the door. Click,
they
click.
locked it. Okay.
So they closed it, and then it was a thing where you can lock it. And I just heard the click, click.
Okay.
Once the door closed, you just know.
And so how's this play out from there?
Nipsey and Fat dropped their heads. And so...
And at this point, because obviously people know that Nipsey and Big U ended up having this fallout that was mostly behind the scenes, did come out on records and stuff, but at this point, Nipsey's still all in with Big U. They're like super tapped in still. Okay.
Right. And so Nipsey and Fats, they dropped their head, and then Big U just jumped on me. And Bear Claw is with him. So the guy that's on his case with him, that's a part of developing options.
Uh-oh, we're going at the character and the contracts you got over there, boy.
It was him and Bear Claw. And so he just started beating on me. He's like, bitch, you disrespected me in the meeting. Bitch, you did this. I never stole nothing from this man. I never did anything that warranted for him to put his hands on me. He jumped on me because I stood up to him and would not let him dictate, extort, or control me. And because my bosses and colleagues rode with me.
The best thing about SKG doing interviews is that she gives you a little more every single time. In her first interview, she came straight for Big U's character, claiming he beat her while she was pregnant, nearly killing her. But a few interviews later, she changed her play. This time, it wasn't just about character. She tried to go after Big U's contracts by inserting Bear Claw into the story and name-dropping Developing Options, the organization he's tied to. Then came No Jumper. She sat down, repeated the abuse claims, brought up Bear Claw again, and packaged the whole thing like it was truth. A full-blown narrative, built interview by interview. And now we've got yet another piece of the story. Something SKG never mentioned before. Let's listen closely, because the more she talks, the more she reveals.
Big U came back around. Big U came back around. Big U came back around. And I had this show idea.
And he got in the way of it, I'm assuming?
I let him do the apology, and he came back in.
SKG has gone from platform to platform, telling the world that Big U beat her while she was pregnant, nearly killing her and her unborn child. She says that happened back in 2009. But now, she's telling people that Big U apologized, and by 2014 they were back working together. If someone almost killed you and, in her own words, took everything from you, why would you ever go back and do business with them again? That doesn't sound like survival. That sounds like a story that's falling apart. She had to reveal that detail because people started calling it out. Folks were asking the obvious. If Big U beat you in 2009, why were you seen with him in 2014? So now, She's scrambling to adjust the narrative, adding pieces that weren't there before just to cover the cracks.
And then he tried to extort me again. And then he tried to extort me again. And then he tried to extort me again.
At what point in the process of you putting the show together?
Through the whole show.
Okay.
Through the whole show. And by this time, Wack knows about this. I had to deal with Live Nation. And read it. And see, I have receipts for that because I was going back and forth with Live Nation.
Sugar Free needs 15 passes and 7 all-access wristbands per his manager, Ted. As far as indie acts, I'm still waiting on the full list. We just need a time slot from 8 to 9 for our acts. I have a stage manager who's going to flow our indie acts. He just did the Wiz show, which was a success. After that, you can map the show out how you need to. At this point, Corrupt may not come, and I fear for my life because his manager, Big U, has threatened to harm my life. Which I'm at the police station now. I'm a mother of 4 children. I don't take threats lightly, especially when I have an event to pull off. So if we can please accommodate Sugar Free, that would be great. And if Big U comes, I don't want him allowed in the venue or around my red carpet. So I'm trying to hire off-duty police officers. Sorry for the inconvenience.
What date is that?
That is June 26, 2014.
Surprise, surprise. Now SKG has added extortion to her list of accusations against Big U. Considering Big U's indictment, it's pretty clear why she decided to throw extortion into the mix. The only thing is, we just heard Adam read a message that SKG sent from her phone. And, even in that message, she never actually says Big U extorted her. What she does reveal, though, is that she was working with the police to keep Big U off the red carpet.
And that's from you to Paul. Okay. Damn. So even at that point, this was just like a constant thing.
It's been a constant thing. And that's what people don't understand. This isn't one thing. It's a constant throughout my career, throughout my life, just dealing with him.
Right.
Read this one real quick. I just want you to read that one.
Okay. This is from you again in 2014. Hello, Paul. I spoke with Compton AV's manager. He's confirmed. I paid him in full for the show tonight, and I have a contract on him. I paid Corrupt $1,500 through his manager, Big U. If the rumor is he is not showing up tonight and I have a signed contract, I will sue him. Big U is making this very hard for me and is intimidating, extorting, and bullying. The only way Corrupt won't show up is because he said he couldn't. I'll be at the House of Blues at 2:30 today.
What year is that?
Again, same date, June 26, 2014. So, yeah, like, I mean,
burgers.
I forget if were you the one who's kind of saying that Big U and Corrupt have had this relationship over the years?
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. I mean, he beat Corrupt ass in front of Snoop and Daz, and Corrupt, if he want to deal with that and turn back around and say my brother, that's on Corrupt, but that's not love. That's not friendship. That's not loyalty. That's not normal.
Right. No, definitely. That's fucking wild.
So what am I doing this for? I need to be free. I need to be free of this trauma that this man has caused and feel like he's got away with, and then still threatening me. Like, shit's not sweet, bro. I'm not scared of you no more. You come, anybody come try to hurt me, it's gonna be way different this time, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. And that's the time I'm on and my team is on. Because you got a pass. You did stuff to me, and on top of that, I was molested when I was younger.
What the
This is another thing. He went and teamed up with the person that molested me for them to taunt me. I haven't even told nobody about that.
Oh my God.
Teamed up with the person, like, people have no clue what I really go through. You feel me? It's just chin up because I'm strong. This man has done so much stuff. In Wack 100,
Whoa, fo, burn my bus body having ass bitch.
100 was the first to post my story.
than the female SKG. We're going at your character and the contracts you got over there, boy.
Was the first to post my story. And when he posted my story, Wack 100 was the first because Tasha K, I gave her the interview first. She posted it after Wack because it was a scheduling issue. Wack posted it, and I've known Wack for 20 years. We've all known each other the same amount of time. So if it wasn't for Wack 100, I don't even think I would be as strong because Wack, people could say what they want about him. He's for right.
Than the female SKG. We're going at your character and the contracts you got over there, boy.
Yeah.
No matter how it looked, he's for right.
No, he went to bat for you, for real.
I want to say first, shout out to Wack because Wack didn't know anything. Poor Wack.
Poor Wack.
Wack didn't even know what was going on.
Hold on. This is, bitch, you have no credibility. But look, as nice as Stacey Taggart is, she said, Adam, you are a joke. You are just trying to get some attention on Big U so you can set him up. You fucking redneck bastard who can't stand black men. You're no good at it either. And we see you and we know. These are the voices of LA. We started off with Traplore Ross. We talked about DJ Vlad. We talked about Adam 16. I guess a lot of y'all like living on y'all knees and listening to math who don't like black men. It was only befitting they brought up a bitch like SKG to help push that agenda. Wack don't even like himself. What else we expect from him? But let's go. We almost finished.
Than the female SKG. We're going at your character and the contracts you got over there, boy.
And Wack had my back so much. And, you know, people try to give Wack a bad rap. Wack is really a good person. And I was crying and he was like, I'm on the phone with the bail bondsman, and he called the bail bondsman, called my family, called my kids, stayed in tune, made sure I got out of jail. He's just really been someone that has had my back throughout this whole ordeal.
Than the female SKG. We're going at your character and the contracts you got over there, boy.
Listen, paying $14.99 a month for a streaming app and $9.99 a month for a music app and $12.99 for a fitness app and more money for a bunch of other.
Right. Go ahead and end that. We're gonna go to this other one, right? Where we at? All right, so beg pardon, hit that like button, man. We gonna get into this real quick and we gonna get up out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? Hit that like button, but I want y'all to hear this. Because Wack 100, this whole investigation on Big U, it was all Wack playing. And you don't gotta believe me. This ain't no conspiracy theory. Listen to this. This was after Loose Cannon went on the thing.
About some months back.
Yeah, I ain't never thought he had nothing.
When you together.
Put it this way, I've seen the paperwork on the lawyer shit. I seen it. I seen him on all of it. Well, I can't lie about him trying to move all that shit and trying to get all this shit.
To say. So once I heard that, nigga, my mind had already shifted. So then now that I hear this, and if once nigga hear them phone calls and man, that's how they say it. Always be your own niggas.
That's why I said what I said earlier, man. Every homie ain't your home.
I'm gonna damn near say most ain't.
Hey, yo, Wack. And then, like, there was a lot in there. He even said about he was giving them things, the toys, writing serial numbers down, taking issue with, like, he's seen all this shit. Like, Yo, that's this motherfucking shit is crazy. Oh man,
That Nipsey shit you talking about?
Hey, bro, I told
it's
y'all.
already up.
Yeah, that Nipsey shit gonna go. That I think that's gonna be one of the most talked about things over the next
Oh, I'm gonna look at that.
And what you gotta remember, Wack didn't say it. Six Crips said that.
His nephew said that.
Mm.
like, I mean, I don't really think, you know what I'm saying? I with you, but, and I know y'all with each other, but your nephew said that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we like,
Can't put that on Wack this time.
your nephew, I mean, you know the shit. Man, this whole shit getting ugly, bro.
Yo, I still say like he didn't. Just as a street nigga, I know that you looked up to the nigga probably and all that shit. But if I'm with you, Brock, right, and you finna pass me some hammers and shit like that, and you start writing down serial numbers and shit like that, I'm gonna look at you a little different. That might spook me.
I'm gonna keep it real. That made me think he might be a little bit more greener than he seemed. Like, cause I ain't gonna lie, like it ain't no way that you giving me anything and writing a serial.
That's what I'm saying.
And with a
You
BlackBerry in
missed the whole-
2020,
You
nigga,
missed the whole shit, bro. He said he watched write down the serial numbers of burners and then go hand them out in the neighborhood.
That's a fact. And with the Blackberries too.
But that's
With
what
the
that's what I was saying, Wax. So he didn't look at him a certain way when he did that.
Yo, listen, I keep trying to
That's
tell
a fact,
y'all
Stacy.
that section and see what's going on is niggas is spilling the beans.
That section, these 60 niggas is
That's
telling.
what's
This is
going on.
what he's telling them.
You notice it ain't none of Nipsey homies that ever came out and said, Wack, you lying about that freak shit. You know why? Because a few of them was participants. They know.
Ooh.
Niggas is just spilling the beans. He was about, listen, he said something else in there that he's setting them up for. You didn't hear what he said? Yeah, Nipsey got a baby by my cousin. You know why he know the footage exists? You know why Loose Cannon know that the footage I speak of is real?
that's the baby mama.
That's his fucking cousin.
Oh shit, bro, I'm done. I'm gone. All right, y'all.
You didn't catch when I said you stupid. Loose been with me the whole time, you dumb, stupid ass. Them niggas over there shaking like Knots right now. God.
Luce has been with him the whole time. He made a diss song about Wack. He made a diss song. That was the play to do that.
This nigga called, bro.
Come
He
on.
said I got about 50 niggas on the street right
A
now.
motherfucking loyal member underneath him. That's how you do it. You always keep one right there. Like, go at me all the time.
Dang. Loose been wanting to come out. I just didn't let him out yet. He don't give a fuck because that's his main hitter. What do you think, he gonna run up on his main hitter?
Hell no.
That's why you don't. That's his nigga. Guess what else just happened?
The Rick Ross and
Whatever
all that shit.
relationship you got with Rick Ross and me.
Bro, why you stole it out my mouth? The Rick Ross shit.
That was over. That's over.
Nigga, I knew you was
That's
about
what
to
he
say
did
that.
do. He said, yo, the nigga have us whoop. You didn't see him say, then he'll pop up with the niggas like, nigga, what you doing?
Making you look funny. And
Yeah, I
then
had the niggas thinking, yeah, some niggas over there, I'm finna send my homies over there to handle that for you. Oh, Rick Ross and Meek them we woke up because guess what? They know if they drop that bag or not.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. From the Kelley Blue Book Best.
Gross tell Rick Ross, look, I'm gonna keep them niggas off you. I'm gonna be with you.
Hey, bro,
That's a sick nigga, bro.
I keep telling niggas I work in phases.
I
Let me
work
see how
in
smart
phases.
you are, Brock. What was the last bullet I launched? I'm gonna give you the last three. I'm gonna give you the last three.
All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna give you the last four. I released the paperwork with the police.
I know where this is going.
Then I double back and released the signature line with him and Nipsey Hussle on the contract and told him, say another word, I'm gonna let him see what the contract is. You said me. Right? Right?
I'm all ears.
Then the female SKG. We're going at your character and the contracts you got over there, boy. And then now, this your homeboy saying you writing serial numbers down the pistols, which relates back to what? That BlackBerry phone and that police contract.
Bro, when you said the police contract out loud without even having to look at your phone, I said this nigga's an evil genius. But it's like,
so who sent SKG? Why is she doing all of that? Why is Luce doing all of this? The same reason why Quick to Tell Dale is doing all of this. The same reason why Marley Marl, his other friend, is doing all of this. Listen, he works in phases.
I released the paperwork with the police.
I know where this is going.
Then I double back and released the signature line with him and Nipsey Hussle on the contract and told him, say another word, I'm gonna let him see what the contract is. You said me.
genius. But it's like on some shit. Like I'm sitting here watching you lay this shit up.
But this thing is
The fact that he's writing their serial numbers down, handing them things.
Bro. We up out of here. That was definitely enough. You know what I'm saying?
Man, y'all done sat through what? 3 hours of hot content with Deuce M's the Don and Yael the Kiwe pop star. Man, we was live on YouTube, man. We appreciate everybody who tapped in, who told a friend to like, comment, and subscribe to this content. Salute to the Blue Wrench mob that was on a job, and salute to the chat. Y'all already know that's where it's at. Man, salute to everybody that understands the narratives that are being spent, and we're here to correct it and direct it. And all the bullshit is getting rejected. Man, y'all done sat in with Deuce M's the Don and Yael the Kiwe pop star. This has been another hot edition of Damu Kiwe Conversations.